And welcome to Natural Havoc. We are a group of Twitch streamers. Yeah, you know what? I have it written down here in front of me every time, and I say it every single week for 40 weeks now, and I still cannot, for the life of me, get it right the first time round. But we are a group of Twitch streamers that decided to give streaming and Dungeons and Dragons a go. We play the 5th edition system, however, with a few added homebrew rules thrown in. We are experts to D&D now, veterans, absolute giga chads to Dungeons and Dragons. And yeah, we're gonna make so many mistakes that you're all gonna be shouting at us. So awesome. Let's go round the room. By the way, I must say the background for this looks very chef's kiss. So let's go around the room, and Tim, Tech Wizard, take it away. Tell us who you are and who you'll be playing today.
Thank you. Welcome in, guys. I am Tim, and I'll be playing Arcturus, the Warlock Vidalcan, who made some interesting decisions last round. So we're gonna see how that works up today.
Awesome. And below Tim, we have the return of the Eagle Zero Outlaw. Take it away.
Hello everybody, I'm Eagle. I play the stealthy Loxodon Rogue, Andros, and make sure you go follow the Twitters, the Instagrams, the YouTubes, who actually sponsor today. YouTube, go follow, go subscribe to YouTube. They upload all our vids for us. Wow, thanks for the person who runs a YouTube account. You're amazing. And yeah, make sure you go follow YouTube.
Awesome. And below Eagle, we have Smitty. Take it away.
Hello, I'm Smitty Jane. I get to play Maeve, a half-elf druid barbarian. She's pretty cool. I have a little pet named Socks. He is a little sproutling, and I'm excited about today. Also, look at our new background. It's cool. It's nice. It's fresh. I like it.
I love it. It's cool, nice, fresh, I like. And to the other side of the screen, we have Zeb. Zeb, take it away.
Yeah, I'm Agent Zeb. I play Erhard, the squishy sorcerer with wild magic. And yeah, that's more or less it. He makes questionable decisions sometimes, but he was questioning whatever Arcturus did a lot, but we'll see how he defends himself.
Awesome. And on the other side, above Zeb, we have Lan. Lan, take it away.
Hello, my name is Lan, the female half of Team Logic, and I will be playing Shion, the Diva Warlock, who took quite a beating last session, so she might be a little bit tired. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited. Let's go.
I love the title of Diva Warlock, by the way. That's such a good title. It's great. And I am Onion. Hello. I'm the Dungeon Master. So I play everything from the trees to leaves to treasure chests to whatever they find on a piece of parchment to what the wind tells them or someone's ghostly grandmother. I'm everything. Yeah, I will be playing all those things. So awesome. Right, I think we should get into the recap. But before we do, the reason why we have had a slight backdrop change is because our characters are coming into a new chapter. And something that I want to try and change up every time we move into a new segment is we will have a more fitting backdrop change to whatever area perhaps we could be going into. So yeah, that's why we've changed the layup a little bit, just so you know, so you're not like, oh, they're just crazy. We are that as well. Right, let's do the recap. So if I don't click off of my my links, our last session began with the party taking a few minutes of rest after helping Yusuf Featherstone and Faddington Blair deal with some drakes attacking the city. Faddington was his usual self, leading a group of people to safety with a lot of bravado after making sure the area was secure, while Yusuf quickly set off to find his family. The party then went to the Divine Ward, for the recent battles had left them tired and wounded, and they needed just a little pick-me-up. Upon arriving at the Divine Ward, the party were met by a large group of soldiers, who after a short amount of time, they had determined their identity and their intentions, and allowed them access. Andros immediately started helping out wherever he could, after he had a short burst of a lapse in his judgment and maybe just a little bit of panic going through his mind, seeing the injured around him. Meanwhile, the rest of the party were looking for an enchantment-based Tri-Spire mage who could give them the ability to rest in a shorter amount of time. Eventually, Maeve and Erhard stumbled upon a young mage named Victor, who had the skill to recharge the party, but was extremely wounded, after he and his superior were attacked by drakes. After a few healing words from Maeve, and a promise that the party would help look for his superior, Victor agreed to help, and he magically put Arcturus, Maeve, and Shion to an invigorating short sleep. Meanwhile, Erhard decided to ask for a little bit more information about the gods, while Andros was still helping out the temple relentlessly. After a few minutes, Arcturus, Maeve, and Shion woke up, and the party immediately left for the Canopy Ward. They had heard from the soldiers at the Divine Ward earlier that the biggest drake had landed there, so seeking that drake out and hopefully killing it would not only eliminate the biggest threat, but also potentially answer some much needed questions. I've lost where I am. About why the attack on Archivale was happening in the first place. But the moment the party set foot in the Canopy Ward, even more questions arose. The headquarters of the Requisition were reduced to rubble, and the party heard loud noises coming from within. But they didn't have time to check that out, because they were spotted by the largest drake they had seen so far, and it was clearly not amused with them. Maeve called upon lightning to strike the beast. Shion cursed it with her hex. Andros and Arcturus immediately charged in with spells and might as well. Meanwhile, Erhard sat back, firing spells from a distance. The party raged on, long and hard, and particularly Shion and Maeve took some very heavy beatings from the drake, until at one point, there were people emerging from the rubble of the Ruby's Rest. A woman in red armor with a messy braid and scales upon her face, and a rather plain-looking human man wearing a bright blue scarf. And with them, the almost unconscious silhouette of Kingston Bernardo, leader of the Requisition, being dragged through the rubble behind them. The two mysterious people immediately attacked the party. However, the party were still fighting that drake. Arcturus warned the two to stay out of it, but to no avail, and when Shion's curse ended the life of the drake, the mysterious woman went berserk, and the battle continued. Eventually, though, the two decided to flee, and after a final warning from Arcturus that they were never to set foot in Arkenvale again, the woman sprouted draconic wings, grabbed her companion, and flew off. All was calm, even if only for a moment. A few members of the Requisition emerged from the rubble, as Winters also arrived on the scene. The party and co ducked into a nearby house to gather themselves for some much-needed rest. Now they wait for Kingston Banano to regain consciousness, because they have quite a few questions to ask him. And as you are all stood in this two-story house, you're currently in the living room, and you can see this is the living conditions here are definitely not what you guys have been used to. It seems more of the poorer side of the city in the Canopy Ward. You can see that the furniture here is more tattered, more worn. It could be potentially hand-me-downs from previous owners, or just used goods that they've bought from a thrift store of some sort. And as you are all stood around in here, you see Winters kneeling down beside Kingston. He seems to be placing a wet flannel of some sort across his head and bandaging him up with the blade wounds he has in his stomach, making sure that he's all fit and ready to go. However, Kingston is still passed out, still completely unconscious and not moving. However, breathing, which is a good sign. The rest of the Requisition, Starlight, the tabaxi gentleman with the purple eyes that you previously met in the bar, is currently sat in a rocking chair, which is squeaking every time he rocks backward and forwards, but is slowly dozing off to sleep before you all. And Broven, the dwarven barman that you also met, is currently sat kneeling at the windowsill, peering out of the bay windows, watching the street before them. As you are all stood around, is there anything any of you would like to do or like to say while this is all happening?
Maeve, darling, are you alright? You took some heavy beatings there.
I'm okay, but that was not fun. Are you okay? That was a lot.
Yes, it was a lot. I really hope they don't have another of those creatures, because I don't think I would be able to deal with another one.
What did you say to her, Arcturus?
When she was right in my face. She was somehow begging for her life. I made an agreement with her.
Yeah?
Okay. I told her never to come back to Arkanville. Leave the city alone. Otherwise, the next time, we will kill her.
If she doesn't kill us beforehand.
Oh. Right.
Well,
You didn't succeed.
why was she here? Like, you sure they won't return?
Oh. If she breaks her promise, I will keep mine. And count on that. I think the very own person who knows why she was here, that guy there, unconscious on the floor.
Well, you would hope that they told them why they wrecked this place, yeah? Why the requisition, I mean.
They better answer for what happened down there. If the requisition is at fault, they endanger the entire city. Although I like the guy, although we got what we wanted from him, as a warden of Arkanville, aren't we bound to protect the city? Any means necessary?
Yeah.
Well, we
are
also-
we gonna let them get away with it?
He definitely owes us some answers, isn't it? But he's also a citizen of Arkenvale, right?
Hiding underneath the city, running an entire empire. You call him a citizen?
At this, the dwarven man hearing your conversation a little bit further back, he like looks back and he's just like, "Yous have got to be fucking kidding me. You're speaking about the same guy that you got that fucking orb thing from, no?
Yes, we do.
Well, isn't that what Winter said earlier? The whole reason that they were here? So in all fairness, if yous hadn't have taken it, maybe should have left the city alone.
Perhaps.
But why was it in the city in the first place?
Well, I don't fucking know. I'm the barman. I just heard a few things when I came out, and yous fox killed that dragon, or drake, whatever the fuck it is. All I'm saying is if she comes back, I know where I'm fucking standing, right behind yous lot.
Who
Right.
dealt the finishing blow on the Drake, by the way? Because she might be pissed about that.
That would have been me. But I don't really care. I mean, we could have taken her. She got away. She got lucky.
You got
Another one of-
lucky.
Another one of those drakes would have been problematic, but
Wait, yous think she got lucky? You know she killed, like, the majority of the fucking Ruby's arrest down there, right?
I
That was
agree
before
with him.
yous lot even rocked up.
apologies for being late.
Oh, that's alright. Just buy me a drink or something, because my bar is fucked.
Will do.
All right, guys. What time is it?
Broven, like, pulls back the curtains and looks outside. And he's like, I don't know, but it's getting on a wee bit. It's probably like, I don't know, 6, 7, 8.
Do we want to wait? Can we not wake him up?
Winters, like, looks at you all and says, he does not appear to be rising anytime soon.
Any healing?
Do you have the ability to heal one?
Yes, I can do it.
By all means.
You
we
guys
could
want to do
try.
this now?
Do you want him to wake, or do you wish to maybe rest a little?
I want answers. I'm
By
looking
all
at you
means.
guys as well.
Yes, answers is what we seek.
And I'll cast Healing Word on him. My last, last spell slot.
And as you cast your
Actually,
final
I have to do it at level 2 because I can't do it at level 1 anymore.
No worries. Yeah, you give him a little bit more rejuvenation. Roll me a 2d4, please, and add your modifier on top of that.
Is it 2d4 when it's level 2?
Yes. Yeah, it doubles the dice. Yeah. So 2d4.
2d4 plus 6.
So it's plus your
My
wisdom modifier?
3, 9.
Yeah, so 9. Perfect. Yeah, and as you rejuvenate, some healing energy as this, like, purpley-ish, not purple, orangey-ish glow soothes over Kingston. You see him take a deep inhale as some of the purple goes into his mouth, and as it does, his chest pushes back out again, and you just hear almost a sense of relaxation as you feel that your magic has worked. And Kingston, he kind of, like, you see one eye open and then he just, like, closes it again, and then you just hear, like, a big sigh, like a oh fuck sort of, like, sigh, as he looks toward you, but he's kind of still semi not quite sure if he wants to pretend he's still asleep or not, as he, like, looks in your guys' direction. But then as he realizes the jig's up, he just looks at you and he goes, well, fuck me sideways, I guess. Oh, that hurt more than 10 rounds of Ashen Howl. Oh god, I shouldn't laugh. Fuck my ribs. Yes, no more jokes, they're definitely cracked. Thank you, I guess. And he moves a little bit, sits more upright, and, like, sits back in the chair that he's in. And he looks at you all and he says, I truly dread to think what would have happened to me if you hadn't come. Thank you. You're all looking at me so expectantly, like can I help?
Arcturus, you want to lead on that?
Well, why should I lead on that, alright? I know you want answers as much as I do.
Well, you were leading outside and you have more information than most
We
of
don't have
us.
time for this. Tell us what all you know about the orb and why they apparently came here.
Everything?
Everything.
I guess we have time to kill. Shall I start from the beginning?
In the
Yes.
beginning.
Just give us the answers, please.
Very well. Basically, Ivan and Winters were on a mission for another client from Craddock. We were to fetch some ingredients, poisonous, in fact, ingredients, for a client, but we were to meet them in the Wildlands. As some of you may or may not know if you're not from these parts, the Wildlands is more of a lawless land where, how do I put it? There is no governing rulership. It's every man for himself, no man's land type of place. Ivan and Winters were to meet with this person, and they completed that task. In doing so, this gentleman had met with another on the roadside. This foreign woman, as we referred to her as. She was asking around for the likes of ourselves to gather information. she wanted the orb of eternal fire or of fiery existence. I don't know the exact name, but she gave us an accurate description, the sort of powers that it would wield. Yes, she was offering 5,000 gold for just information on such a thing. Ivan, from my understanding, took it upon himself to carry out this task as best he could, until he came to me for aid. He asked me to gather my listeners up and see if I could get them to find information out about its whereabouts. I did, in fact, find 3 different occasions. I heard of 3 different places this fiery orb or crystal could be. One of which was apparently in the Temple of the Ancients, but when I sent an informant up there, it appears that it's not quite what we were looking for. But another, perhaps, or something similar. We also found information of it once belonging to Quirin in one of the ancient temples. Our information is a little more vague on that part, but it is apparently northwest of Shartusa, is the ruin which it once presided. However, the latest bit of information was much closer to home, and that it was in Karas, in the hands of the Featherstones, which I believe you know of course, because you know Yusuf, and you did travel to the city with Felix's wagon. We sent 2 informants there as business propositioners. We sent them there with the intent of oiling him up and making him have a huge ego so that he would invite us into his home and show us his treasures, as our listeners had once said that he is partial to do so. We also thought it'd be more selling of our proposition if we actually found what he wanted, and Felix was looking to expand his empire. Hence the shop in the Silver Ward. We made sure that the premises was vacated, and we bought it. And sold it to Felix. To sell ourselves as business people, so that we could case the joint. My 2 best thieves, who I think some of you may have met, the pair of them had headed towards Karas, but was worried that maybe... how do I put this? Maybe they would be caught because of the security of the city being so tight, what with the event currently going underway. So they sloppily hired a bunch of mercenaries to cause a distraction in the markets. Let's just say the mercenaries did a little more than what they intended to do, and tried to get their hands on more than they needed. But it did buy us the window to break into Felix's place. And we tried to make it look like more of a snatch and grab than a, proposition for a certain item. Upon arriving back, my thieves gave the orb and the random items that they had found to Ivan. Ivan is our fence. He was to make sure that the orb's description was fitting of the foreign woman, and in the meantime, he sold off the other pieces to make sure that they didn't come back to us. This is where things start to get messy. We never needed to acquire the orb, just to find its whereabouts. We got greedy. We took the orb because we knew we could sell it to her. But the problem was, Ivan wasn't just working for us, which we have now figured out. He had made a side deal with this woman, and a side deal with Kingsley Taff, informing all of them of the item and its potential powers, spreading the rumors and information that he had got from her. And he made them go into a bidding war, where, as you heard, it went up to 15,000 gold pieces, which may not seem like a huge amount in the grand scheme of things, but from what I gathered, Kingsley Taff was willing to go for a lot more. She just couldn't afford it. That's where you came in. I can't stand Taff. And I'd rather sell it to someone of... well, someone of a stature that I can work with. Hence why I agreed to sell it to you for the same price, without telling Taff that there was another buyer. She was meant to meet in the Wildlands. The date I gave you. To return to me with the orb. Ivan had already headed out, because we hadn't heard word from you. But, when you suddenly did, I informed him. And I'm guessing he informed her, and that's why she attacked.
All this over a business deal.
Yes, I did say to you all a while back that oh, my ribs. I believe that there was a mole within our ranks. At the time, I didn't know it was Ivan.
What rumors are being spread about the powers of the orb?
Some say, apparently, that it used to be the eye of a titan or something, and that the titan removed it because his gaze upon his loved one would kill her due to the heat and the embers that come from it. So he removed his eyes when spending time with her as to not hurt her or harm her. I cannot believe such a stupid fairy tale, but that's one of them. There is also that it has the ability and the powers to resurrect an extremely old dragon of sorts, one of a fiery nature. Whether or not that's true, I just hope it isn't, but it could be. You know, these magical items are quite the thing. And finally, well, I've heard that if one is able to siphon its powers and unlock its potential, they could even ascend to godhood. But, whether or not that's true again, they all seem a little far-fetched for just such a small little orb.
Right. So, I know when we came back, you found information about some of us in our past. Did you do the same to
Yes.
her, and did you find out any information about her and her people? Maybe why they wanted the orb for themselves?
I got a little. From the information Ivan, I believe, slipped up on and accidentally gave me. She is some sort of chieftain's daughter, heiress of a tribe. A tribe of, scale-born, or... I don't know. They're like a tribe of scaled individuals. Apparently, from what I've gathered, they used to be wyvern and drake riders atop the jagged peaks. But quite a few years ago, there was a huge accident, and most of them died. But some split off and created new clans and colonies. I really do not know much more than this.
Do you have a name?
The name we were given, at least, was Ariel. Some referred to her, from what I gathered, as the Queen of Ashes. Which, if you've got a title like that, you're probably a bit of a badass, to be honest. Ugh.
So, what about the statement we heard on the market square fighting the first round of attackers? They were there for vengeance because their kin was slaughtered.
Vengeance for their kin?
They told us.
Where was this, at the market square?
Well, outside the
Council Chambers.
council chambers.
Right, I haven't the thought. They attacked the council chambers as well?
They did. They were there for the council.
They attacked the whole city.
I'm afraid that is, I do not know anything about that, unless they think maybe The council themselves were hiding the orb, but why else would they attack the council? If
What
they
if-
had Ivan with them, surely Ivan gave them the information they required.
What if she told her people that that's why they were there, but that's not why she was there?
She was kind of here by herself, or were there others?
Well, cause
Like at the
chaos is
requisition.
fine, right?
She must have had some sort of reason to sort of coax her fellow Scaleborn or whatever into battle with her. I mean,
She-
most people are not that evil that they would attack random citizens unless they have a very good reason. And maybe, who knows, maybe Miss Ariel, the Queen of Ashes, told them something that they... Or like maybe he invented a lie, maybe she invented a lie, a story. So they would attack.
To your question, Erhard,
Yeah.
she arrived with Ivan and 2 other riders, but after a short time slaughtering my men, she sent the other 2 off to fetch another.
Another what? Did she did she name a location or something?
I do not know the full extent. From what I gathered, another individual within the requisition had information. Okay.
Another
I'll-
one that's not
look.
Ivan.
Yes. I'll come clean. While I was in the Ruby's Rest and my people were being slaughtered, and I was being beaten to a pulp, I may have overheard a thing or two, perhaps, that, they began questioning those around me after I refused to break silence. Jockin, a friend of mine, a good friend, was asked where the orb would be located in this premises. He informed them that a group collected it just a few days ago. However, when questioned as to who the group was, Jockin appeared ignorant and did actually not know who it was. But he did provide the information that someone else has it. He did also tell them that a certain quartermaster had dealt with them previously in selling them wares. And from my understanding, it is he who they were looking for.
So, Quartermaster, you say?
Yes, you dealt with a gentleman. I believe you paid him in coppers.
Typical.
He was working for me, but under Ivan's leadership. Ivan, being the fence, would quite often deal with him personally in providing wares and selling such things that he would acquire. I think maybe Ivan told Ariel where he might be and to fetch him for more information. Last I heard, he was in the Flint Ward. On an errand with Ashenhowl, Jamil, and Yaskir.
Well, that is.
We'll come back.
Yeah, I think they will go back.
What was that? Sorry, Maeve.
Well, if they live, they would come back here, right?
Well, one would hope, yes. Or, seeing such a terrible thing like this, they may just flee. Not all of them have the courage of, you lot.
And unless they have other means of communication.
Exactly. Ashenhowl would return, And if she saw that drake outside, she'd probably leap at it, because that's the sort of person she is. But Jamili and Yaskir, they're not exactly the bravest bunch. They would probably turn tail until the beast had left.
You said
Oh.
that Ashenhow was in the Flint Ward? Where exactly was she headed to?
Ashenhow was in charge of clearing out the remainder of the Crooked Clasp sewers, as was Jamil and Yaskir to travel through the sewers to get rid of the rest of the smaller grunts that thought they could resurge the Crooked Clasp beneath the Flint Ward. But, from what I'd gathered, she was doing a fine job. So she would have been in the Flint Ward during the attack. As you see, you took out the main base of the Crooked Class, but many little pockets still remain that we're trying to flush out. The Crooked Clasp are like rats, you see.
Honestly, being in the sewers would have been the best place to be during the attack.
I agree, but Ashenhowl isn't exactly one to turn away from a fight.
Potentially,
We need to,
if they find them, they will gain information.
we need to
and,
find out if they're
well-
they're good, because we also need to find out what information they gave. If they-
Yes. I would say speak with Jochen, but they killed him. As well as the majority of the requisition that remained.
How come you didn't tell on us?
When I took over the Bernados, which was the original name for this criminal gang, I decided I wanted to change. I wanted to make it professional. I wanted to make it a business, not just a gang. The reason we changed to the requisition is because, well, we gather information, we gather knowledge. And if I just go telling everyone that, then my reputation is in the dirt. Stubbornness. More than anything. They didn't pay me for that information, so I'm not going to fucking give it.
Thank you for that.
Well, it is like all of you. I didn't tell anyone that you had purchased the orb. Because that wasn't their information to have. Obviously, unless they had a coin pouch rather hefty, then maybe a few words would be spilled.
It's pretty funny to think about. They were so close to the orb. It was right under their noses.
Yes, if only they would have known that it was the people that they were fighting that wielded it.
Well, I stood face to face with Ariel. So it was literally in her grasp.
Well, rather you than me. Because if you cross paths with her again, well, I imagine she'll be really pissed.
Well, she owes me one, so let's see about that first.
Yes.
It might be...
I...
No, go ahead.
No, by all means, she...
It might be best for us to leave Arkenville as soon as we finished clearing out the rubble here. We do not really want to endanger everyone here anymore. If they find out that we have the orb, they will be hunting us.
Although,
Definitely gonna draw attention.
maybe Arkenvale would be the safest place for you now.
Can you imagine?
Once warned to an attack, a city better prepares for one. But anyway, if all of you generously lovely people who saved my life don't mind, I could really do with resting. And please stay in this, and he looks around, humble abode, for as long as you need. We have procured it for at least the evening.
We have our own place, if anything.
I think everyone can use some rest at this point.
Could we check on Petunia?
Not
We
yet.
Well, that's also our house, Erhard.
Yeah, we can go home.
Also, I am no longer in the capability of fighting anymore right now.
No, but Can we go home?
There might be some tiny drakes we can handle, but I don't know about you, Maeve, but I took a serious beating, and I do not want to cross any more enemies today.
I'm gonna look out the window and see if,
Mhm.
like, in the air, on the streets, is there anything going on?
Yeah, you looking on the street first, you do look around and it just looks sparse. It is very desolate at this time. There aren't many people running around, looking around. Every now and then you'll see like some curtains move from like another building, and it looks like someone's looking out just to make sure no one's outside, and then they close the curtains. But it's desolate. The city streets that were once quite busy is extremely quiet. And looking up at the sky, you see the occasional Tri-Spire mage fly overhead, but you don't see any drakes in the sky. Roll me a perception check.
On it.
14.
14?
Yeah, and as you take a little look out the window, you're looking around trying to spot anything out of the ordinary. But all you just see is just carnage, rubble, and ruin. You just see multiple buildings where the Drake had put its arm through like the side of a building and half of it had collapsed, and into the street there is just bricks and debris all across it. But nothing really strikes out to you. Nothing, you don't spot anyone or see anything. Yeah, I think that's about as much as you see.
I don't know about you guys, but I want to go get socks and go home.
Agreed.
I guess we've done as much as we can tonight.
We want to have a look out ahead, make sure everything's actually cleared.
You wanna
I can
do
it.
some
Scout ahead.
some magic?
I can. I got it. I can
Yeah?
go invisible. Why not?
Yeah. Akeda could also go flying in the
I-
air. helping.
I got it. I got it. And I go straight invisible and then just rush out and go have a look ahead, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, and as you walk out onto the street, looking around, this isn't a particularly unfamiliar sight to you. There are corpses in the street. There are bloodstains, rubble, and debris. And as you do start to look around, you start to get this realization that this isn't too dissimilar from some of the warfare that you have seen. Very little that you saw in Fortis, but what you have seen of death. And I think for just a moment, you have that feeling in your gut of panic, and that feeling of you wanting to just get out. But before you allow that to override you is when you see the rest of the party slowly start emerging from the house behind you. And from looking at them, you get that resurgence of bravery come back into you, and the confidence that you need and that your party allows you to strive with. And you press on and you move forward. And yeah, as you're walking around the streets, occasionally you hear a scuffle going on, and as you prepare yourself to fight someone, you go around a corner and you see what looks to be like two Canopy Ward civilians fighting over some bronze jardiniere that they have found, and they're playing tug of war with it, and one's saying, "I found it, not you," and the other's like, "You piece of shit, you still owe me from a couple of weeks back," and they're like arguing to and fro, and the underbelly of the city, although in a time of war, clearly still can't get along, as just some thugs They just look like your generic sort of low-life thugs are just fighting over some loot that they've found. And you ignore it and press on, and as the rest of the party get there, you all hear scurrying but don't see what's happened because the noise you make walking through the streets has scared them off into an alleyway of some sort. And yeah, Andros, as you begin pressing through, you come out towards the market area and you can see the paladins and the divine knights are helping people, civilians, into their areas, and are slowly combing towards the canopy ward, and you can see them going into the streets behind. As it appears, looking into the sky now that you're not surrounded by buildings, the skies are clear. There is still heavy cloud, but there are no drakes swooping down. You see the occasional Tri-Spire mage still fly overhead, clearly relaying orders from different wards, but it seems like the drakes have left. And I would say at this, it's probably been about... because I'd say you'd move at a slower pace, just to make sure that things are okay. I'd say to get to this marketplace and just on the edge of the Silver Ward, it's probably taken you about 25 minutes just to get here. And as you get there, yeah, your party are a little bit behind you, but they are, yes, slowly moving up as well.
Yeah. So my invisibility would probably be out at this point.
Yes.
And I'm just moving with a... I'm building the building, making sure I'm checking things before I move to the next, and just trying to be as stealthy as possible to make sure he's safe.
Yeah. Yeah, not a problem. And your intent is to head to the Warden's Roost?
The council building.
You want to head to the council chambers?
To get Galoin and Socks.
Yeah, not a problem. Yeah, you begin heading towards through the Silver Ward, and you can see that these buildings, although a few of them, you can see like tiles have come off the roof, and like the corner of one building has completely crumbled, and there's just rubble all on the floor. It doesn't look as bad here. The Canopy Ward and the Ruby's Rest, the center of the Canopy Ward, took a big hit, but the outskirts of it aren't as bad, and the Silver Ward looks to have taken only minor structural casualties. But yeah, as you press through, you end up going towards the back end of the Silver Ward, and you start going up the strip towards the council chambers. And as you do, the council chambers almost look pristine. You can see, again, some damage on top of the clock tower, and you can also see some damage on the roof of the council chambers, but the rest of it looks okay. There are some bodies out front still, and bloodstains from where you last fought, but otherwise, it looks pretty good over this side. But yeah, you arrive, and as you do, just before you walk through the gates, a Tri-Spire mage, you just catch it out of the corner of your eye, lands, like superhero lands in front of you all, and as he looks up, he like sees who you are, and you see it being the ginger guy that you met previously, one of the Tri-Spire elite Tri-Spire members. And as he lands before you, he's just like, "Well, looks like it's all cleared out, hasn't it?"
For the most part, are they still inside the chambers?
They are. They are about to hold council.
Hold council? What for?
They wish to enact immediate decisions for the city of Arkenvale.
Okay. We have friends that are inside that building. Do you mind?
You are more than welcome. As wardens, you are more than welcome to
I'll
come in.
barge in then. Thank you.
Yes, very well. And he like hesitates for a moment, but lets you pass. And as you start walking up the stairs, you walk in. The foyer is empty. There is paperwork all on the floor from when you saw Estefan Gibblebottom grabbing his work and running through the halls of it, and all the paper was flowing behind him. And you can just see that it's just chaos here. And Maeve, as you start walking in front, knowing the direction of the location where they were hiding, you can see in a little foyer on a bench is Galoin swinging his legs with Socks in his lap, and he's just giving a little leaf to Socks every couple of seconds as you start walking up to him. And you can hear what sounds to be like voices in a room nearby, and it seems to be quite a heated discussion. But yeah, as you approach, Galoin looks up at you and smiles, and Socks like leaps off his lap and starts running towards you.
Oh, you guys are okay?
Yeah, it was actually it was quite calm here, to be honest.
Yeah?
After you guys had gone, it was it was all right. Sir Drexel heard some footsteps in the chambers, but apparently only one or two had managed to actually get in through one of the back windows. But I think Sir Drexel handled it.
Right. You haven't seen outside yet, then?
No, they've told us to stay in here. The Tri-Spire's wizards keep coming by, relaying information of news of the city. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know it's bad, Maeve.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've had some news from the Amber Ward. During the attack, I don't know if you know this lady, but Gorelia Goldstein was actually killed during the attack, as well as her husband.
No.
They were in the streets trying to get back to their home during the assault. Their bodies were found about an hour ago.
We sat with them, Shion.
We did. They were very kind people. They only had the best interest of everyone, I guess, in their mind. I'm sure they will be gravely missed.
And due to this, they've appointed a new voice of Arkenvale as an immediate. Because she was the only other candidate still running, it's now put Henry Weston as voice of Arkenvale. And he was with them at the time of their death, and he's the one that informed the people.
Is he in the council chambers right now? Like in there speaking?
Yes. I didn't hear this. But he seems to think these scaled people were Fortesian from the Imperium. He seems to be thinking that maybe they have come here to test our defenses and for Veritas to be ready for Fortis's full reign of. I don't really know.
It's not the case though. They have, from what I know, they have no Fortis affiliation at all.
Are we alone in this room, or?
Alone is a...
Well, is there anyone but
Yeah.
Galoin here?
There are people posted outside of the room that Galoin is near, who are just guarding the room. But there is no one in your... Like, if you speak softly, no one is really going to hear you. But obviously, if you're having, like, a full-blown conversation, like, Galoin is kind of, like, hush-hush, they're like, that part of it. But, yeah, there are a couple of guards nearby that are defending the room that the council and Henry appear to be in.
We need to tell them the information we know. We're at least
What do you want to tell them
Everything,
exactly?
everything.
No,
We're
the
not
history,
gonna tell
the
them
history
everything.
of their group, that they have nothing to do with Fortis.
And what will you tell them how you found that out?
We fought multiple waves of these people. I mean, we at least know something. These council people didn't fight them at all. They did nothing. They sat in these chambers and chilled out the whole time. They don't know anything about these people. We at least have some sort of information.
Yeah, but
if we let them focus all their attention on Fortis now, with these people flying around and doing whatever, right? They could be totally blindsided to another attacker, who knows what.
Yeah, but do we tell them that we know through Bernardo?
No, we
That's
we
my
know because
question.
we talked to people. We talked to them. We got information because we talked.
Okay.
If we don't tell them anything, then we're just setting them up. We're setting them up for potential more worse things than anything else.
I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying it has to be logical still.
We need to get our story straight.
Look, we talked to one of the soldiers, and they told us that they live in the where was it again? They lived here in
The
Veritas,
mountain?
and they what?
Jagged
The
Peaks.
mountain.
Yeah, the mountains, and then they came here on their own regard. They came here because apparently they wanted vengeance on our city, on this city. That's what we tell. That's literally what they said when they came
That's not
knocking
why
on the.
here though.
These council members are clever, though. They are going to want to
They
know
will question.
why. You can't just tell them they attacked because they had bloodthirst or something.
We also can't let them think that it's just doing this, because then it's just gonna cause
Of
more
course not.
problems.
Well,
Of
why
course not.
can't we tell them
Listen,
that she's
nothing.
looking for a magical item, an artifact?
That's true. I mean, they don't know what the magic artifact is. Listen, all I know is I would love more than anything for them to go fight the Imperium. I'm all for it, for the most part. But like, that's it's not fair for there to be a misplaced reason as to why they're doing it.
You guys do
Right.
know that the event they were talking about, Calamity, and the cave-in, is all written in books. There are
So we
actual
just-
stories.
If
And
we
it's
present
not
all of
fiction.
this, then they will obviously, they'll know it's a more of an in veritas problem, and they won't just go off trying to fight in some war that's just gonna, it has no need to be there right now.
Yeah, but will we tell them like what we know about the orb
No,
in connection with these people
Of
at
course
They
all?
not.
don't need to know. The orb has nothing to do with that. We have possession of it, so it's fine. It's safe. But we don't want them to go off thinking it's a whole other continent. It's not even on a whole other continent.
Think
Yeah, but what
of-
I'm trying to get at is they are still a target as long as people think the orb is like these people think the orb is here or with us, and we are affiliated with
They
Arcanvale.
know a group has it. They don't know where that group is. For all they know, the group could have left by now. If they find out it's us, they're gonna probably get information on us, and they're gonna know we left the city by then. But for now, we gotta think about the right now issues.
We gonna leave the city? Are we?
I mean, that's the
Of
plan,
course,
right?
we are going to leave the
Well,
city.
who we stay here anymore? We're bringing more issues here than we are, helping at this point. I think for right now, we think about the right now things, which is getting this information, like at least helping them out in that aspect. They've done nothing but good things for us. They've helped us. They've given us a house. We give them the information, at least from whatever we know, and then we get out of
They-
here.
They still don't trust us, though. And for good reason, seeing as we keep quite a lot of secrets from them.
All right.
I
I
think,
think we tell them. I think we tell them two things. We tell them what's already written in the books, as Arcturus said, which seemed to be the reason that the council got attacked in the first place. And we tell them about Ariel. We tell them that she was looking for a magical artifact, but didn't find it.
And then they
That's what
Probably-
that's the information we gathered from fighting her. And that she flew off. She grew wings and she flew off.
aren't they gonna like ask us of what kind of item that
Don't
is?
know.
How would
In the
we
heat of the
know?
battle, why would we know?
Because she looked for it apparently.
Yeah,
and
but we don't know what the
Yes.
item is. We just know that she was
You
looking
guys
for
leave
something.
the item.
There's plenty of magical artifacts in the world, darling. We can tell them anything. We can tell them it's the sword of some long-lost dragon slayer. What?
As this conversation's being had, you then hear what sounds like quite a large thud come from the room next door, and you just hear, "Enough! We have been fighting for our lives in this here city. I will not have us fighting amongst one another." And then the volume of the conversation seems to lower in that room, and then you keep hearing them discuss further. But the levels, like, it was heated before, and you can hear from the voice, you believe it to be Sir Draxel, he's put his foot down and just told them basically pack it in, because it was getting too heated. And yeah, now the discussions continue to flow, but at a more calm, neutral level.
Look, I think I'm gonna take a page out of your guys' book. We do one thing really, really well, and that is we go on the fly. I say we just go in there and just get this shit dealt with. I'm tired. I don't want to hear this shit no more. Get this shit dealt with. Go home and sleep.
I thought
We all
were
do
better
well
at
on the fly,
killing
huh?
things.
Yeah, we do. And as I say that, I'm gonna start walking towards the door.
For one time, I agree with Andros this time.
And as
I'll just follow them.
Andros, as you approach, the guard nods. He opens the door, and as you look in, you see a table with around about, I think, 13 chairs total. 7 of which are filled with council members. 1 of which is filled with Eliash, who looks distraught. She is very tired. You can see bags under her eyes, blood trickling down her arm. You can see what looks to be like she's taken a nasty knock to the head, but she is just sat there listening. She doesn't say a word as you enter. She's very quiet. You also see 2 other Tri-Spire mages. One, a very older gentleman who you saw through a mirror a very long time ago, sat down at the table as well. And you also see a Tabaxi mage who is sat there as well, with their elbows on the table and their hands together. And also around the table, you see Henry Weston, who is sat the opposite end as Sir Draxel is sat. So they're sat at both head ends. And they appear to be in deep discussion. And as you enter, no one really notices you immediately until Henry, clocks all of you, and he raises a hand, and all the council members stop, and they look, and then they see all of you step through the doorway. And Sir Drexel, well, it is good to see all of you. It really is. I'm happy to see that you're all alive.
Thank you.
Barely.
Yes, a few of us here have had to deal with some things, as you can see. Poor Eliash has recently returned from the battlefields herself.
Right.
As she just nods, but doesn't say a word. She just nods, and you can see she looks exhausted.
They're doing a lot of talking when there's people out there, hiding, scared. Are you guys gonna just sit in here all day and talk? Or are we gonna go out there and, help out your city?
Andros, I can understand the pressures and the pains that you maybe have dealt with. But without organization, without a plan, the city is at peril. We must join together. We must decide. And then we order our people to carry out the next plan. Our guardsmen and the Tri-Spire wizards are out there now, helping those that they can. We
So,
must
do you know-
prepare. If they attack again, countless more will die.
So do you know, well, who they are?
From the informations that you gave us earlier, we have pieced together what they could be. But we do not know where or who. We have, thanks to your efforts in the Silver Ward, apprehended a few members, and interrogations have begun.
What do you guys think of the first pieces of information you have now?
We understand that these people blame us for something that these people sat in this room, did not do. These were actions of our previous. The city, the region of Arantis, and Craddock banded together 100 years ago. And when we did, we made a mistake. And that cost the lives of many in the jagged peaks. But that does not mean that we and the people of this city are accountable.
You guys do know what direction you would be looking for.
Yes, Henry seems to believe that maybe they are working with the Imperium of Fortis. Due to the recent inclinations that Kingsley Taff also was dealing with the Imperium.
I'd love to be nothing more than Imperium related, but that's not the case. People are attacking the city out of their own vengeance or whatever the idea of it is, and yeah, here for vengeance. Even looking for something.
Have you heard of someone called Ariel,
No,
Queen of Ashes?
we have not.
She seems to be the leader of this ragtag rabble of bandits.
You've met with this Ariel?
Oh, yes.
And you say they're looking for something, Andros.
It
Yeah,
seems
something-
she was.
Yeah, she was.
I don't think her and the rest of the attack were here for the same reasons.
You
that
believe-
she's
Go ahead.
I think that she may have used history to hype up her tribe or people or whatever you want to call it on the attack while she's looking for whatever she wants.
How do you know that she was looking for something?
Because we fought her.
Will you
She
live?
got away. Yeah, she she grew wings and flew off.
What on earth could she be looking for in Arkenvale?
You're asking the wrong group.
Henry leans forward, and as he turns to you, so you're telling me that these people, they attacked this here city because of a grudge from 100 years ago?
We think that the leader, this Ariel that we fought, probably egged them on or something, telling stories, and got them to attack Arkenvale while she herself was here for completely different reasons.
It was all set up.
Well, where did you find her?
Canopy Ward.
So that would assume that the thing she was looking for was there?
Maybe.
Who knows?
Makes sense.
Maybe the peasants out there have something.
Can I have from Shion, Maeve, and Andros a deception check, please?
12.
20.
You just make a quick roll for no reason whatsoever.
Very well. If that is the information that you have, and that you believe that the Canopy Ward is where you fought her, and that she was after something, in my mind, why would she land unless she knew where it was? I cannot imagine she would unleash a full-scale attack on a city to then comb the city street by street for the thing that she searches for.
Well,
If
why
she
wouldn't it be
is-
there?
If she is
Honestly.
cunning enough to rally up an entire tribe of her people,
for them to execute themselves to our blades and magics, to land in a ward of no real importance other than civilians living within, then she must know exactly what she's looking for.
She probably does. But, as you know, they had drakes and we were a little too preoccupied with them.
I can fully understand that the battle was hard. I can see that most of you are still wounded from the fray. I would suggest taking the night to rest and recover, and to meet back here in the morning once we have made a decision as to what to do next.
And what if that decision would be unwise?
What is it that you propose, Warden?
As Wardens of Argonville, we did the battle. We saw what happened on the street. We defeated one of their greatest assets. We should have a slight vote in this.
And what is it that you would vote to do?
Entirely depends on the decision the council is making.
Currently, we are at heads. Some of the council believe that amassing a large force to find where these people are and to wipe them out. The other half wishes to enact the treaties, to unite Northern Veritas once more, to speak with the leaders of the 4 regions, and to become one. That way, we are a united front, and attacking just one of us means you are attacking all of us. I myself wish to unite Veritas again. Amassing a force could leave us vulnerable, and if we send them to the wrong place, could create more warfare. And Henry goes to say something, and he goes, well, hold up. And before I say anything, Sir Drexel just places his hand on the desk. I believe the rest of this conversation should be had by council members and the voice alone.
Understood.
But we value all of you. We would like to say our thanks once everybody has had some rest. Let us clear our heads, our minds, and our souls.
Okay. Okay. We'll see you in the morning.
I curtsy. And I just.
Thank you.
I nod and I walk out.
I
Out.
before I leave, I'll just whisper to Eliash that I would like to speak to her at some point.
She nods, and you hear her whisper to you as well. I'm sure we'll be speaking more soon.
Okay. And I'll just leave.
And yeah, they all nod. Breck, the gnomish gentleman with the slicked back blue hair, he like looks to you all. He gives you a little wave, and then as you all leave, you step outside the room, and Galoin like jumps off of the bench.
Right, so are we going back now?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Great. Hopefully it's still there. Yeah.
And yeah, they all begin to leave. You guys head towards Silverwood. Is there anything you want to do before you get to your house, or are you just happy just to go straight back?
Go home.
Nice. You
Yeah.
all stumble through the door, and as you all stumble through the door, that immediate sigh of relief is like a wave across all of you. The first person that enters, they sigh, then the next person. There's this sort of like the safety bubble comes into play for a moment as you're all like, oh, thank God that's done. And as you all come in, the house is very quiet. What do you guys do?
Can we? I don't. I guess we'll just call out for for Petunia.
Yeah, you just start calling
You
for
home?
her.
Might be home in her own place.
Dude, she doesn't live here.
She doesn't. We could just wait till the morning, see if she shows up. If not, we'll ask around. I'm sure she doesn't want to be bothered, and I'm sure we're just too tired to be trying to.
Did we have a shed?
You do with your horses in it, yeah.
I should check on the horses, really, shouldn't I? I'm gonna go out and check on them.
Yeah, I'll come with you.
Okay.
Skilloin comes running out because he's the horse man. Yeah, he comes running out with you. Horses are fine.
Horses are fine. Okay, we'll come back in. No Petunia in the shed.
Yeah. No, Petunia's not
Okay.
in the shed hiding.
Okay.
Yeah, the horses are fine. The wagon's fine. The only thing missing on your house is the chimney at the very top has kind of been knocked off as like a drake has flown by, and there's
Ooh.
part of the chimney in the back garden just like in a mess on the floor, like a load of bricks, and there's like a couple of missing tiles, but otherwise the warden's roost is pretty much unscathed.
I go immediately to check and see if we have any alcoholic beverages in our home.
Roll me an investigation check.
I would actually go join him on that.
Okay, you have it with advantage or both roll. It's up to you.
I will give him advantage.
There you go.
I haven't been rolling so
A
great.
4.
Not rolling that great.
The only alcohol you find is because you are looking in the complete wrong places.
Great.
And you open up a linen cupboard thinking it's some sort of like booze cupboard, and as you look in there, you see right at the back, tucked behind some blankets, is a bottle of brandy.
I'll grab it.
Yeah, you
That's
grab it?
Petunia's.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
go take
You
a
grab
seat,
it. Yeah.
chairs, and I am popping that bottle open.
Mhm.
And I'm not even second guessing. I'm just
You
drinking.
care to share?
I had a hard time finding this one bottle.
Yeah, it took you like,
This is how
15
Yeah.
minutes.
I'll like pour like a small glass for him, but I'm taking the rest of it. I'm just drinking the whole bottle at this point. I'm
Well,
just.
I take the glass and thanks, Andros. Was a
Is
tough
this
night.
how Loxodons share their stuff in your tribe?
No, we don't share. That's the thing.
Nice. Really nice.
First come, first serve.
Well, in that case, Sean, do you want some food?
Food, a bath, and sleep. Those are the three things I need right now, and other than that, I do not care about
All right.
anything.
Ehad, Arcturus, any food?
Sure, let's have some food.
I'm quite hungry.
Great. I don't know. I'll try making food, I guess.
Oh. Roll me, we'll just say a flat wisdom check, and it's just whatever ingredients you find, you cook up some form of a meal. Yeah, and that's
20,
20.
baby.
You go out into the garden, you pull some fresh veggies. Yeah, you get it all nice and sorted. And you get
You
yourself,
just do
you
the
find-
wisdom save. Gee,
Oh, wisdom save, yeah. So it'd be a
Oh.
little less. It's still a nat 20.
it's a
fine.
natural.
Yeah.
You managed to find some foods that have been stored, some dried meats, some vegetables, some potatoes. Yeah, you make a little sort of like roast dinner-esque thing. It's not the greatest, but it tastes really good right now because you guys are exhausted and any food would be good. And I assume you will sit around the table while Andros drinks the bottle.
We'll set out the plates for everyone
Yep.
but Andros.
Yeah, not a problem. Yeah, and you guys sit down for a meal, and yeah, you start to relax.
Well, guys, seems like they trust us even less now.
You think?
They kind of kicked us out right as they were making decisions.
Who cares? We'll be leaving this place soon anyway.
We are not in
What's
the
the next
position
step?
of making decisions anyway, so we're wardens. We're not like the council.
I
I
didn't think
don't-
it'd be bad if we were the council. Imagine.
Imagine us being the council.
They already seem to disagree on everything. We also disagree on everything. That would be a nightmare. Plus, I am not too familiar with Arantian politics.
I don't think we would be
Would you
fit
have
for a
slaves?
council.
Would I have slaves if I had the
Yeah,
choice? Naturally, darling.
Oh, this would be a mess.
But if it were just me, then I don't know. People may not look. You know, I might get shanked in the streets. Who knows? That's why it's best for me to only meddle in Charthusan politics.
Something I wanted to ask you guys. So, considering that, you know, there's people like Kingsley Tap looking for the orb, Ariel looking for the orb, you guys looking for the orb from Malachi, right?
Malakesh,
What's gonna
yes.
Malakash, something like that. I forget. What is he gonna do, right? If this is this all-powerful thing, what if he resurrects a dragon? What if he, God knows, becomes a god?
We kill him.
Oh yeah, we kill him when he becomes a god. Great idea.
I'm pretty sure there's some kind of legend out here of people killing an ancient god. If they can do it, we can do it. Become a legend
Why
in the
don't
process.
we become the gods? We have the orb.
If we knew how to do
Well-
so, yes. And even if we do, yeah, we'd be gods.
Well, one of
But
us
we don't-
maybe, but
Yes, we do not know, however, how to unlock the orb's potential.
Could you
or whatever.
imagine an half-elven god from Shatusa who wants to enslave the entire world?
no, don't.
Yes, that
don't.
would go well.
I wouldn't vote for Shion
wouldn't-
or Andros to be the god.
I would not enslave you guys.
That's
Come
the
on
risk.
now.
Well, you did notice that Kingston was mentioning that in the Temple of the Ancients there might be something similar.
Mm.
So there might be, more these kind of orbs. So imagine if someone got more of that, like not just one.
Yes, darling,
So-
you get the Orb of Eternal Ice, Maeve gets the Orb of Eternal Lightning, Arcturus, you get the Orb of Eternal whatever, and Ondros gets the Orb of Eternal Shanking Bitches. Let's
That's
go.
not what I was getting at. I was more getting at, people like Ariel.
What orb do I get?
You
The
have the
Orb
ring
of
of the rat, and
Eternal
you still haven't used it.
Who says I haven't used it?
Did you scare the council members in there?
No, but there were rats there.
Did you use it?
Maybe.
You did. Can I roll an insight on that just for the fun of it?
Sure, yeah.
14.
I'll say 14's enough. Yeah, he totally used it. 100%. Yeah.
Good man. You need to know what it does. You got a toy. You got to play with it. Perfect.
Well, look, okay, we were down there for a few hours, and I saw one rat, so I thought, well, what better time to try it? I didn't realise that a load more rats would come, but I asked them all to leave very quickly, and they ran away. But it works, so thanks.
So now you have your official title. Cologne, the Slayer of Rats.
I didn't
Or the rat
slay them.
tamer.
The
The
rat-
rat
Master
tamer.
of rats.
Master of Rats. Yeah, it might be better.
That sounds a bit off, though.
Yeah.
You choose
Yeah.
whatever title you think fits you.
Warden.
Then there you go.
Great.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just worried about this. Like, it just seems so wrong after all we've been through to just drop off this orb with this thing.
There's only one orb and two of you, isn't it?
Yes, we bring it to him together, and then hopefully he'll leave us alone after that.
How are you gonna do that?
Find a location first, but
That's why we're going to leave this place.
We don't even know where we're bringing the orb.
Where to?
that's something we need to figure out still.
Or
We have a hunch, but
let us know before you ascend to godhood, okay?
Well, trust me,
Just a joke.
if
right?
I ascend to godhood, there's no more returning the orb somewhere.
then we can all live peacefully, happily ever after, and I can finally go home and have my mango salads.
I mean, what do we want to do?
But for now, I think I'm
Sleep.
going to bed.
But we definitely
Afterwards-
need to figure out what we're gonna do about this.
Hear
Threat.
out the council, see what they're doing tomorrow.
Personally, I would actually like to also go back to the Divine Ward and just find out more about gods. It was intriguing, but mainly how Victor is doing and the captain he was looking for. Captain Samuel?
Yeah. Yeah, we did promise we would try and find him.
Well, if you want to do that in
And,
the middle of the
well-
night, be my guest. But
No,
No, not now. Tomorrow, when we figure everything out.
Okay. Well, let's
yes,
go.
I'm going to wash up.
And
Wash
as you
myself, get all the dirt off me.
And as you all ascend the stairs to your rooms to bathe, wash, and get ready for your night's sleep, as some of you settle into bed, you pull the covers up to your chin, you relax. Yeah?
I'm getting a certain orb out of my bag. And
Okay.
I hold it very firmly. My body.
And as Arcturus gets into bed, holding this orb, staring into it, and slowly begins to drift off to sleep. We pan out from each person's room, just before we go to break, we're going to go in just a second, as we see Ahad sleeping soundly in his bed. We see Shion twitching and turning ever so slightly. We see Maeve blissfully asleep. We see Andros sat up in bed. We see Arcturus clutching this orb. And as we pan back to Andros, we hear in his ear, "Hello?" And that's where we'll cut to a break, as we're going to have a little break, 5 or so-ish minutes, and then we'll come back and see who the mysterious person is. Maybe it's the Rat King or Ogrognak. I don't know. But yeah, we'll be back in like 5-ish minutes, so don't go anywhere. Grab some snacks, grab some drinks. We'll be back in a bit. Bye! Hello. Welcome back. What snacks have you got? What drinks have you got? Tell us. Let us know. Guys, what have we got in the room? We got Monster, not sponsored. We've got cocktails.
Coated peanuts from
Peanuts, nice.
coated
Water?
peanuts from Netherlands.
Elmheim!
Water.
Water. Healthy. Health.
Is it actually water?
Exactly.
It is.
Oh,
No,
it
it's
just-
vodka.
It looked fizzy.
It's
I
a
was just like,
vodka.
what have you guys got? Timberland, what have you got?
Just a bottle of water.
And the same as it.
Oh,
Bottle of water.
oh, snacks, peanuts. I got bottle of water.
In the Radler.
Another let's go. Okay, cool. Right.
Did we
we're
make
gonna
you drink
jump-
a Radler actually? Don't think so. You didn't have a Radler.
I don't think I
in,
did. No, not
Damn.
a TwitchCon.
Yes,
I
yes,
should
you
have
did.
done. Damn it! Did I? You muted Tim.
You out. You out.
God damn it. At the dinner,
There you go.
after TwitchCon, you, Amma, and Patty had a Amstel Radler.
Did I?
Yes.
Yeah, the lemon beer
Lemon
you
beer.
had
Oh, the
over.
lemon one. I
Those
did.
are
That was
pretty good.
really good.
Those
That's the
are
same.
Really good.
Yeah.
See?
Yes, let's awesome. Let's jump back in as we look towards Andros's room. And as we do, and the camera sort of pans around him in a dramatic motion, we just hear the whispering of someone. Hello?
T'Challa?
Who is this? T'Challa you speak of?
I'll jump up, grab my rapier, and just kind of swing it around the room.
Ah. So you are my new toy.
Toy? I don't think you know who I am.
What title or name do you go by?
How will you tell me yours?
I have gone by many names over the years, but most know me as the Scarlet Scarab.
Wait, no, this has no. I've just been through a crazy fight. Listen, these things happen. You know, I have a lot of things going on in my head. You must be either some dirty prank that my head is playing, or I have, yeah, you must be some dirty prank. And I would ask you to stop if you don't mind.
You wish for me to stop?
Do I know you by any chance? Usually people who occupy my head are the people I know from, like, way back. Back when I was in Fortis, one of those people, or
You're from Fortis. Oh, how the fates are kind.
I fates. What are you talking about? What do you mean by toy?
The Scarlet Sands on the western coast of Fortis is where I'm from. Have you heard the tales?
I roll an insight. Or see
You can
what I
roll
know?
a history check
Oh,
to see if you
history.
recall any information.
History.
An 18 is not bad. As you do recall a little bit from old tales from your grandmother of there being some woman, a creature, perhaps, a being that lived within the Scarlet Sands. And your grandmother probably told you this tale that this entity was able to control blood. It was able to manipulate magics through blood. And you know that the stories dictate that a woman by the name of Decatha was the one that turned the sands red. And that she was a very, very powerful woman, and to not be trifled with. With an 18, because it's on the higher end of the spectrum, you remember key points of these stories. That although that she would use blood, she would always give to receive or receive to give. There was always a transaction made. If one's life wished to be saved, another must be taken. Your memory of this woman, you're not sure if she was good or bad. There was no real black and white to it. it was a very grey area. Sometimes there would be a story of, oh, if you don't go to bed on time, Decatha would be sent to get you as a child to try and scare you into making sure that you went to bed and to make sure that you did your chores and didn't leave the outskirts of the village and that sort of thing when you were younger. And it became more of a children's story to scare their children. But she also had the name of the Scarlet Scarab. And I'll say that's as much as you get with an 18. You recall this name.
You're not Decatha, are you?
That is a name I haven't used in a long while.
How are you here? You're said to long be gone. I don't I, how are you here? How are you even talking to me right now?
You wear a trinket of mine. The scarab upon your chest.
Right?
It is tied to me as such.
Oh, that's great.
It allows you to be more vigorous, does it not? To be more hardy.
A little bit, yeah.
It has its uses. Would you agree?
It does?
Well, as I and this item gives, we wish to receive.
What is it you want to receive?
I wish for you to continue doing the things that you do.
And why is that?
Because the path that you have chosen means bloodshed. And when blood is shed in my presence, more of me can awaken, allowing you to gain more power. Would you like to see what we could do?
Oh shit. Sure, why not? Let's see what you got.
Interesting. For now, my power is weak. But continue to feed, and the more stronger I will grow.
You will grow. That doesn't sound like a very great thing, does it? I mean, are you gonna like take over? Like you gonna take over me? Like am I gonna become like a vessel for you or something? I've heard stories of like people getting taken over by things before. I'm not into that. I don't find that to be very romantic. I would like a 50-50. Um, I'd like to make a 50-50 relationship here. You know.
And yeah, as you begin talking to yourself, no response is heard.
Well, great. Nice. That's. I have drank too much, or I am losing it. And I'll set down my rapier and just sit back down on my bed, and I'll take a look at the scarab that's still attached, should be attached,
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of look at it.
As you go to reach for it, it's not there. And as you look down, it's the other side of your chest.
Why you keep moving to that fucking side? Can you at least answer that if you're still there?
Rest.
Oh, you know what? Whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna lay back down, but I feel like kind of mortified. I've never. Well, I'm used to it, but never a talking item that's talking in my head. So I think I'm pretty mortified at the moment, and I'm just trying to come up with some excuse of how this is happening, I guess.
And yeah, you go to sleep.
I'll try.
Do you keep the scarab on or do you take it off?
I'll keep it on, of course.
Okay, not a problem. Yeah, you rest, and as we pan out of your room and we swoop into the room of Shion. And as the camera goes into the room of Shion and the silken sheets are half over Shion while she rests with her big fluffed up feather cushions and the very large bed for a very little lady, we see that beads of sweat begin to form on her head and run down her face. And as they do, we peer into the mind of Shion. And as you're laying there, falling deeper and deeper into a slumber, you begin to dream. You see the luxurious canopies of Chartusa above you, the vibrant colours flowing, blocking out the sun, as you feel that gentle heat brushing your skin. You hear around you the quietness of the second ring's early morning activity. And as you start to hear the things going on, you also hear the constant flowing of water coming from your family home's water feature. The soft trickling of water falling into the nearby rock pool. You look up from your usual morning routine. But as you do, everything around you vanishes. As you see that you are now sat on the floor of a desert in the middle of nowhere. And as you stand and begin to look around for where you may be, you see Chartusa is nowhere to be seen. You look into the horizon and you see the rolling sands coming towards you. A huge sandstorm grows closer and closer, eventually enveloping you. You see no more than 3 feet around you as you become battered by the storm. No longer able to stand, you fall down to your knees, clutch your head, and close your eyes in hopes that the storm will pass. A few moments pass, a few minutes, what seem like hours, until eventually, silence. You open your eyes to see you are sat in a large pile of sand all around you. However, you are now within a stone-built chamber. You see a plinth in the middle of the room with a blue orb atop of it. You see the blue flame roar, and as it does, a silhouette of a large humanoid can be seen as a shadow on the wall behind it. It appears you have collected the item in question. The orb of eternal fire is within your grasp. The blue flame ignites further. I am surprised that those of Arkenvale were true to their word. Keep the artifact safe, for it is the key to your freedom. Your time is still ticking, Shion. You may have realized by now that your tattoos are not just a brand, but a clock. Upon holding onto the orb, your clock will reduce. You have 3 chains upon your tattoo, and have another 3 to go before your time is up. You have done well to travel so far from your home, and for that, I believe you're entitled a reward. And as the flame starts to flicker again, Do you respond?
I guess I'm sort of. I nod and then, like I still can't really believe this. Like it's just a dream, but at the same time, yeah, all right. I'll. I guess. Well, I guess I have to do what has to be done then.
And as you say this, you look around the room. You don't see Arcturus anywhere. You notice he's directly speaking to you. And it seems as if this is personal. Nearly every time you've seen this chamber, by the time you were actually in it, it has always been the pair of you. And as you respond out to the flickering orb and the shadow on the back wall, it flickers more and the shadow grows. I want to show you something, Shion. I wish for you to keep a hold of the orb at night. And I'll show you exactly what happened to your father the night you left. Hold on to it while you sleep, and I'll know you are ready to learn. The flames dim and the shadow grows smaller. Once you are closer, Shion, bring it to me. Doing so will erase your debts to me, and you will be released from my shackles. However, you must be the one to bring it to me, not your Verdalcan counterpart. If he brings me the orb instead of you, the chains will grow tighter. The flames will burn brighter. And images begin to flash in your mind at this moment. And you see an aerial viewpoint of slaves being marched through the streets of Sartusa. And as the field of view starts to go closer and closer to these slaves, one of them looks up. And that one looks exactly like you. Walking the streets, shackled and chained, pushing a large instrument of some sort through the streets with the slaves beside you. And as you take a moment of respite, walking through this city street, carrying this large instrument, you hear the cracking of a whip. And as you look up into the sun, stood before it is a blue, tall man, a Vidalcan. However, you can't see his face, as the glare of the sun obstructs it. The images flash and dissipate as Malakesh speaks once more to you. Do this, and we may part ways. Unless, of course, you choose to stay beside me and learn more. Take some time to think on this, Shion. Your future is truly bright, and I'm sure you will make the correct decision. And as you go to say something, you wake up and you shoot bolt upright in bed, sweating, pouring of sweat. And you look around your room to see the silken sheets, the fluffed up pillows, and all your belongings scattered around you. You lay back down with your head on the pillow, take a big old sigh, as it is still the middle of the night. Do you go back to sleep, or do you go to do something else?
Part of me really wants to just sneak into Arcturus's room right now. But like I'm on to him now. Like I curse myself. I curse you, you idiot woman. That you gave the orb to Arcturus. I will never, ever, ever be a slave to anyone. And I just lay down and try to sleep, I guess, all the time, just thinking about what happened and thinking about my
Yeah.
family and my own slaves, who I've actually grown rather fond of.
Yeah, you find yourself realizing that you actually miss them. Like, you had a bath earlier tonight, and you had to do it yourself. Like, that was... Yeah, that's a nod on.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I need
And,
Rosie Bell.
Yeah. And as you you begin to fall back into a sleep after some thoughts pass through your mind, we come out of your room, and the vision glazes back over to a certain blue man's room. And as the vision comes into the room and we see the Vidalcan laying in his slumber, enjoying a good night's well-deserved rest, you see clutched in his hands the burning orb, swirling with fire and colours of scarlets, reds, crimsons, and ambers. And as we pan into the thoughts of Arcturus, the first thing we hear, good, as the familiar voice of Malakesh finds you in your sleep. Your vision changes from whatever dream you were having to the color red. And it's an opaque color. You just see red. And then you start to see the flickering of fire go past your vision, as parts of the opaque red begin to become transparent. And you see a vision. But it's not as you remember. There is this thin veil of like red glass over the vision that you were looking through. And you see, as you peer through, the room that your creation once was. You see the room back in your home of Ravnica. And you see the construct, your creation, of a large, upright semicircle teleportation device. And you can see that this arcane gateway, and you see all the sigils up the side of the frame. You see the copper wiring, not too dissimilar from that you have on your own person. But you see 3 figures in this room. 2 wearing grey and black military uniforms. One of which holding a blade to another Vidalcan's throat. You see a female Vidalcan, your sister, stood before the gateway. And as you do, the other guardsman walks up to your creation. He begins pulling wires and pressing buttons, and you can see that the arcane sigils are still lit, and the swirling arcanic magic just constantly whirling away, and this buzz of arcanic nature coming from it. As the guardsman pulls a wire, the gateway pulses. And as it does, everything in the room is dragged a little bit closer to the portal. You see the desks and the tables that were in this room all skid slightly towards the portal.
the guardsman that was stood beside it is thrown to the floor before the portal. You can't hear anything being said in this room, besides the humming of arcanic magic. A second pulse erupts from the portal, but this time, as the guardsman stands up to prepare for it, a table takes him out and pushes him and the table through the portal. Next, a third pulse. As paperwork, vials, and various gadgets from this room all go swirling in a mass towards the portal. You see your sister and the final guardsman swept off their feet and dragged across the floor. Your sister reaches out for a nearby pillar, and as she does, the guardsman grabs her. You see the pair fighting back and forth until eventually she loses grip. And the two are flung through the portal. A final fourth pulse of arcanic magic erupts. And as it does, nothing but smoke can be seen from the room. The red tint fades back to darkness. She's here. Find her. And at that, we all awake from our night's slumber. And as we all wake up, with some of us having amazing sleep, well-deserved rest, and probably a bit of a lay-in, the rest of you may be a little bit more on edge. As you hear the footsteps, the pitter-pattering of someone running down the stairs, small little footsteps running down the stairs into the main foyer, as you start to hear voices from below. What are you all doing? Who would like to go first?
I do. I wake up, obviously, with heavy pounding in my chest. Breathing heavily as I mumble a name. Zenia. Dear? Impossible. I have to find her. And I call over Ada.
Mm-hmm.
I put on my clothes. I put the orb in the bag. Walk downstairs. I walk straight out of the house.
Well, before you do, you do spot two figures in the doorway, in the front doorway, of Petunia and Galoin speaking to one another as Galoin heard someone coming in the house and come running down, and as he did, Petunia come stumbling in, and she appears to be holding a big, like, fruit box full of vegetables and fruits. As she, like, walks on in all happy, she puts them on the table, and then you can just hear between them as you're coming down the stairs, Galoin asking her, like, what happened during the attack, was she okay? To which she wasn't aware there was an attack, as she went to bed early last night and slept through the entirety. As she then explains to Galoin as you're going to walk past that she wondered why it was a little quieter this morning and thought that it looked a little bit distressed out there, but thought maybe just some construction was being done. As she wandered through from the Flint Ward. That's what you hear as you come down. Do you still walk straight out?
I still walk straight out, and I'm neglecting them totally.
Okay, yeah. And Galoin, like, sees you, and, like, you hear him say Arcturus, but I assume you just still go. Yeah, and you step outside.
Yeah.
And as Arcturus steps outside, what do the rest of you do?
Get up as soon as possible, and I knock on Octora's door And
Yeah, I like to
obviously
think
there's
you
no
just
response.
miss each other. Yeah, you just
Yeah.
miss each other. I would say because I would say you know what? Both of you roll me a dex check. Both of you roll me it, and we'll see.
6.
And Arcturus, that
13. Oh, there's a save, sorry.
yeah, that's okay.
Did I
If
do
it's
a
the
dex-
same
yeah?
modifier, yeah, just
Um,
dexterity on the left-hand side.
16.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I would say what ends up happening is you go outside the front door just as Shion gets to your door. So it's like it was a little bit too late of getting up and getting ready. But as you knock on the door furiously, no answer. And then I would say you hear Galoin say Arcturus from downstairs. That
I
you
run-
hear, and then the door shut.
I run down.
Yeah, and as you run down, Galoin like looks at you and he's like, Shion,
Where did he go?
he just stormed out.
Stormed out.
Yeah, he looked real determined.
I guess I'll just slump in a chair somewhere. He'll be back, and then there'll be trouble.
Shit, you'll never guess what.
What?
Petunia slept through the entire attack.
See what?
She's even gone and bought vegetables. She said there was no one at the shop, so she put change on the side and just took what she wanted.
Well,
She
fair
said she
play
didn't
to
even know
her.
it had been attacked. She thought it was just construction.
Well, she's not within earshot anymore, is she?
And she's just humming away, putting stuff in a cupboard. Like, she's completely oblivious to everything right now.
I mean, she's old, right? I mean, she's probably half deaf.
Yeah, but-
She-
Did you not hear those bells ringing?
Well,
How the hell did she sleep through that?
wow. Let's just I don't know. As long as she makes us breakfast, it's all right, isn't it?
Well,
I mean,
yeah, but
maybe if we tell her about what happened, then
does
who
it
knows? She might want to look for her family and stuff, and then we'll never get breakfast.
does it not worry you that she like looks after this house? What if someone like broke in? She wouldn't fucking hear them.
You have a point there. Maybe we can do something with an alarm system.
I mean, yeah, like cans on a string. I'll think of something.
And Galoin like runs off to like a place and a noted place in the house. As anyone else getting up early? Well, not early, but like usual time.
Well, I have the room next to Arcturus, right?
Yeah. I think you do share
So
the same.
I
yeah.
assume I hear him walking out briskly, maybe.
You hear the
shutting
door
or
shut.
whatever.
You hear someone
And
run
then
down the
Shion
stairs.
just like
Yeah. You hear a commotion. You don't know what the hell's going on, and then you can hear like Galoin talking downstairs, and you hear them all getting up.
Yeah, so I would say I just was busy taking out one of the books I borrowed from the library. And then I hear that, and with the book in hand, I just open the door and I guess see Shion storming down. And then I guess, lazily follow. Like I'm not in a hurry.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
whatever
And
they're doing.
as you
Yeah.
lazily follow, I think Maeve, you awake from your slumber as well. You can hear banging of doors and people running up and down foot like the stairs. So do you also emerge from your room?
I just roll my eyes. I'm like, already it's chaos. Okay. And I go down the stairs and
Yeah.
I yawn and I'm like, good morning.
Yeah, as Erhard and Maeve, the pair of you both come down the stairs at about the same sort of time.
Well, good morning. Sleep well.
Good morning. Yeah, I slept amazing till people started running through the house. How did you sleep?
Yeah, I was okay. I just wanted to have a like a slow start, just read a bit of stuff. But people seem to be in a hurry for something. But we'll see.
Yeah. Shion, hi. Morning.
Good morning, darling.
How'd you sleep?
Eh, just some nightmares, I guess. Maybe the whole. Maybe I couldn't really rest here after all the chaos.
No. Yeah, it was a lot yesterday.
You need
Agreed.
something to calm you down, Shion.
No, thank you.
You're not muted now.
I'm not muted. I've been clicking, click, click, click,
That's better
click,
now.
click. Hello, am I muted? I was just saying no, thank you. I'm fine.
All right. And I guess just by doing that, I just also kind of wave good morning or whatever, and then I just open the book and just sit somewhere.
And the pair of you
Oh.
notice Petunia
Petunia.
just putting like vegetables away. And
Oh, you're okay.
Yes, why wouldn't I be?
You're funny. You're really funny.
My ex-husband told me that too.
Yeah. So how, what'd you do yesterday? Like, how did you survive?
Well, I tidied the house a little. Some people had made a bit of a mess. I checked on the vegetable patches, made sure to water the garden. I made sure the horses were looked after, which Galoin had done a good job. And then I was feeling very worn out, so I took a little nightcap and I went to bed a little early.
Right, so you didn't hear of the thunderstorm yesterday?
Oh, the construction going on outside is a good job I took that nightcap, otherwise I wouldn't have known about all of the roadworks. Why on earth they're doing so much work within, the Silver Ward at this time of year, I'll never know. And I've heard they're also doing an awful lot of work in the Amber Ward too.
I just look over to like Galoin and Shion and Ahad. I'm like,
But you'll never guess what happened, Maeve. I went to the vegetable stand in the Flint Ward. Well, they had all the vegetables there, but no one there to buy anything from. So I just left some coppers on the counter, and I just took what I wanted. So this is on the city today. Mm-hmm.
do you need some money? If you keep
Money?
buying this food? Yeah?
Well, I get paid to do that, dear, and I get supplements from the council.
Okay.
But the money I didn't spend, I'll pocket. Thank you.
Okay. I think Andros drank your brandy, by the way.
What?
Right? That was yours, right?
Wait, which one did he find?
Like in a cupboard? Linen cupboard?
I'll have to restock that. That's coming out of your money.
No, his money. He didn't share it with us.
Very well.
she like squints at you and just stares at you.
It's my brand.
While this is going on, I'm not actually sure like what kind of books, like definitely like the Fae, some stuff on the
Yes.
Fae.
Yeah, you picked up something about, was it the creatures of Fae as well, or something?
Well, I think that, but I think also like those books where I found information in the library. And I think some of it also was about the Temple of the Ancients as well. I think there was information in there about that.
In
Let me
the
just-
Feywild
I'm
books.
just checking. I'm just checking. Because I would have wanted to read more about that.
While you take a look at that, we'll jump to Andros. As Andros, you I would say you wake up maybe a little bit later. You did have a lot of brandy the night before, so
I didn't sleep much.
yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna take a point of exhaustion because of this, because I
Sure,
didn't sleep.
I think that's
probably
fair.
didn't sleep.
That's
Yeah.
fair. Yeah, no worries.
What would I do for that?
And,
Did I do-
Don't worry about it. We'll work that
Okay.
out. We'll work that out a bit. But yes, I
Okay.
will say you take a point of exhaustion because
Yeah.
you drank an awful lot of brandy, and then you had voices in your head, and
Yeah.
you were just like new voices. You were like, wait, what?
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say you have very broken sleep, like 20 minutes here, like 30 minutes there.
Yeah.
But you spent a lot of the night just thinking. And as you stumble downstairs, looking very tired, yeah, you see Petunia. She like immediately shoots daggers at you, and then she like points at you, and then does a little fist, and then points at you again. And then, yeah, you see Ahad reading one of his books. You see Shion just lounging, and Maeve has just returned back to their room. But you do not see Arcturus. But you do see Galoin with a piece of wire and two tins, and he seems to be trying to make something.
Too tired for this. I know what Petunia's not very happy about. So I just go ahead and pull out 5 gold and I just set it down on the table and I go immediately to a chair and I just sit down and I'm just my mind is not there right now. And in my head I'm like calling out to see if T'Challa's back or anything, to see if maybe she returned, or I'm trying to get some sort of normal in this situation, but I'm just being very quiet at the moment.
Yeah, and as you sit down to try and commune with your individual that you sometimes speak with, nothing. No T'Challa. No voice speaks back to you.
I look down towards the scarab. Is it moved? Has it done anything?
It's where you last left it.
Okay. I'm definitely like freaking out internally, but I'm not trying to freak the others out. I know we've just got through a very crazy day, so I don't want to bring them into it. So I'm just like keeping things to myself at the moment, but I'm very like freaked out.
Yeah.
Like spooked.
And you just hear a little whisper from behind you as you're sat down. As you just hear, well, this will cover half of it. I'll make sure to get the rest from him later.
I just give a platinum. I just throw it. I just throw it behind me.
And you throw it behind you, and you don't hear it hit the floor. As you look back, and it's in Petunia's hand, and she just looks at it and looks back at you. Thank you. And she just puts it in a little pouch. And then she scoops the 5 gold as well into her pouch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm freaked out. I'm spooked.
So, on my reading,
Mhm.
so I believe I read about the city of Symmetria, if I wrote that
Demetra,
down
yes,
correctly.
that is correct. That is the
Um,
lost city that disappeared 700 years ago.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think also like something related to a wizard nearby that sealed the gate to it or something.
Yes,
Or like some was
Orthodox?
involved with that. Like, yeah, I didn't get too much information on it, and
Yeah.
I guess I would like to read or try find that section again and try and
No
read more
worries.
about it.
I will say, because you know which book it's in, roll a history. No, not history. Intelligence with advantage. And yeah, you flip to the pages and you start consuming some knowledge. And what I'll do is I will
19.
give you 19. I will give you some more information about all of the stuff that involves. At the end of the session, because then it's it's all good. But yeah, the general premise is that Orthodox was a wizard that used to work for the city of Symmetra, and he lived in Cathalone Tower, which was his own wizard tower to the south of the city. And he was a huge involvement within the fight with the Illuminated that sealed the gateway to the 9 Hells when it teared open and the Age of Darkness was about. But he was like a huge integral part to that. And he was also like the arch wizard of Symmetra. But yeah, that's what I'll give you now for a brief, and then I'll go into more detail after stream for you. Cool. As the rest of you are gathering around, Arcturus, what are you up to, buddy?
I'm definitely overthinking stuff.
You step outside, and firstly, I need to roll for weather. Let me see if it's let's see if it's raining like doom and gloom sort of rain. Nope, it's clear skies. You're
Clear
all good.
skies.
As yeah, you step outside, clear skies. It looks like quite a pleasant day. And yeah, you can see some mages flying overhead. You can see what looks to be like 2 mages are flying over the city with a large pallet of like bricks and such, and they seem to be using their magic to move the whole pallet over the city rather than having to transport it through the streets where all the rubble and stuff is. So they seem to be coming up with ways of like telekinesis and stuff to try and get around the obstacles in the city. But it does appear that the city is in some form of reconstruction, and they are trying to rebuild and repair.
I'm
But
not
yeah,
even
that's the first thing he
paying,
knows.
not even paying attention to any of it. I am mumbling to myself. I am walking around like a headless chicken, all around town. While suddenly I'll head for the canopy ward, the hideout where Bernardo is.
Okay, so that's where you start heading. Awesome. As it does take about 20-30 minutes to get there, during your travels, what are the rest of you doing? As you're all just sat around, still no sign of Arcturus. It's been about, I'll say at this point, it's been about 20 minutes. Still no sign of him.
I'm starting to get impatient.
Mhm.
Like, I'll give him 10 more minutes.
What time are we meant to be at the council?
I don't think we discussed a time, did we?
Morning.
I look up from the book and just shake my head.
Well, are we going to wait for Arcturus, or are we just
Maybe he's already there.
going? I doubt it. It's not really his. He wouldn't want to miss this, would he?
He's smart enough to know that we've gone there, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, yesterday was a weird day. Maybe he needed some fresh air.
Maybe. Let's just go to the council, see what they. I'm not quite convinced, but yeah, sure.
You good to go, Andros?
What now?
Morning, sunshine. You good to go to
Mhm.
the council?
Yeah, sure. We can go.
You know,
Yeah.
like on the fly and stuff.
I don't feel like flying today.
Okay. Let's
Do
go.
you need more sleep, darling?
No, I'm fine. Yep, I'm good. I'm great. Feel very well rested, and I feel back to tip top shape. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
you certainly look like you're back to tip top shape. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Let's
Feel
just
great.
go.
Okay, so you guys head off?
I'm done with my reading. Like I'm just
Yep.
like wondering. Like
Like,
last time we
come
spent
on.
like an hour.
Yeah, no worries. And as you all start to head off, you start making your way through the city, and as you see the same sort of things that Arcturus sees. You see the bricks being flown across the city by the mages. You see people running through the streets. Some form of normality is back, but there is a lot of bumps in the road, buildings being worked on. You can see that the city is pulling together to help one another, and you can see that the civilians are also helping rebuild. It's not just the mages, it's not just the guardsmen, it's the entire city as a whole, maybe minus the canopy ward, but they are all working together to rebuild. And while this is all going on, you guys start heading towards the council chambers. But before you get there, Arcturus, you arrive in the street of the Ruby's Rest. And as you look at where the building is, you can see that chunks of it are destroyed. and there is no repair and no rebuild here. The Canopy Ward seems to be left to its own devices, at least for now, until maybe the rest of the city is sorted first. But as you stand in the street, looking around, trying to spot anything, you look to the house that you last knew of Kingston's whereabouts, and you see a dwarven man looking at you suspiciously. You recognize him to be Broven, the barman, but he seems to be just staring at you with like one eye wide, one eye like really closed. He looks very tired, and he's just staring out of the window at you. Like, he's not saying anything or doing anything, but he's just staring at you.
I walk straight to the door, and
Yeah,
I
you see-
start bashing on the door.
Yeah, as you start walking to the building, the curtains close. And then, yeah, as soon as you walk up and bang, 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 second it is, the door unlocks and he opens it. Look, shh, some people are trying to fucking sleep. What's up? What do you need?
Where's Kingston?
He's in the living room. He's awake. He's all right. Just please keep your voice down. Some of the lads turned up last night. A little
need-
worse for wear.
Need to speak to him now.
By all means, follow me. Come on. In you come. In you come, laddie. Shut the door behind you. Don't fucking slam it. Come on.
And yeah, as you shut the door, it automatically locks as some of the locks turn. And yeah, as you walk into the living room, you do now see that Starlight is no longer there. Winters is no longer there. But you see Kingston in the rocking chair as it squeaks ever so often, moving backwards and forwards. And you also see in the living room the Minotaur that you once saw in the Requisition a long time ago. And he sat there. But there's a noticeable change. He's missing his left arm. And as he sat there, he's got bandages all over his shoulder. And he's got like a stump like just before the elbow. And you can see that he's in a bad, bad way. And he sat there with one hand on his knee and he just looks at you and you can see this like burning hatred like come across him all of a sudden. And then he sort of like relaxes as he realizes who it is as you walk in. And yeah, as you walk in, you see Kingston there and he says, good morning, Arcturus. Pleasure to see you. Did you forget something here? A purse, wallet, perhaps?
No time for this.
All right. Sorry, it's just I'm just so used to. Yes, how can I help?
You find any information about another Vidalcan? Oh,
Roll me an insight check.
$19.
As you look towards him, there is a sign of recognition and a sign of the fact that he can't believe that you know. And he looks at you, and a slight smirk, curl of the lip comes across him. Yes? I told you all. I had a little piece of information on all of you, and I thought you would be the hardest one to find. Turns out it was Maeve that I found nothing on. But you of all people, big, blue, tall, I thought I'd never hear of anyone of your kind.
Where is she?
Well, let's just say, I don't know her exact whereabouts, but there are rumors of an individual to the south who's made a bit of a name for herself, to be honest. Apparently, for the past 2 or so months, she has been helping out.
Find the south. Be a pretty big area.
Where in the south did you come from?
Assume was around Quirin.
And that you would be right.
There are many freedom fighters in Quirin, a small town of them. Apparently, these freedom fighters were all ex-slaves, and now they try to govern and rule their own small settlement. The problem is, that place is quite often attacked by various people within Quirin who do not, let's say, agree with freedom of slavery. However, thanks to her ingenious designs, I've heard she's been building a thing or two to help them defend. She's becoming quite the hero.
Better not telling lies. And with my eyes, you can clearly see it's between anger and desperation.
Mm-hmm.
I give him like the stare, like, don't you mess with me.
I wouldn't. Not in my state with... Well, they appear to think 2 cracked ribs, a pierced lung, and a few other things, perhaps, but I soldier on, thanks to, Maeve's magic. I think I might just live this one.
Welcome to ease. Takes a little bit of stuff off my back, and I tend to relax a little bit. Might be alive. And here.
May I ask who?
Patient for information.
Sure.
Rumors are true. About my sister.
Well, I hope that you find her. But, as you've provided me with some information... I owed you before, but I didn't now. But, if she truly is your sister... I would tell Andros, a friend of his didn't quite make it. And he reaches down into a pouch, and he pulls out a necklace with a wolf's head. And it's like a silver wolf's head, and he throws it to you. I believe, Andros and Ashenhowl, had a friendship.
So I heard. Didn't make it.
Remember yesterday, or this morning, no, yesterday, when, I said she doesn't really back down from a fight? Well, according to Jamali and Yaski, she gave as good as she got. She took down 2 drakes and about 5 or 6 of their men, but unfortunately they did stop her.
Much blood has been spilled. For what? My condolences.
Yeah. She was a strong-willed and hardened individual that took no shit from literally anyone. She had the warrior's death, and I'm sure she'll be happy with it.
I think it's better than tanked in the streets.
That's how most go. Well, look, if your companions wish to know of the information that I once held, send them my way. Or I could tell you for you to pass it on.
I will. Thank you. Sorry if I spooked you or...
It's fine.
Remember... Council chamber.
Well, let's not keep them waiting then. Arcturus, good day to you.
Thank you.
And I hope you find her.
Do my best.
If I can help at all, you know where I am. Well, actually you won't, because the Ruby's Rest is in ruins. I'll be around. Just ask someone. They'll point you in my direction. These fucking
Take care,
lips.
Kinston. Take care.
Take it back. Bye. And yeah, as you are led out, the dwarven lad like peers his head out. And he's like, "Yeah, good luck." And just shuts the door as you step out.
As I overthink everything and I head to the council chambers.
Okay, and I will say, Arcturus, you arrive about 20 minutes after the rest of the party as this interaction went on. But yeah, the party, you all arrive at the council chambers. It looks a little bit more ready for people to come through. Estefan Gibblebottom is sat behind his desk with a paperwork pile very high. And every now and then he pulls out this, like, it looks like it's like a stick, like 2 sticks with like a grabber on the end, and he like lifts it all the way up to the top of the pile, grabs the first bit of paper and brings it down to him because it is far too tall for him to reach. So he is like using a grabbing utensil to bring the paperwork down, and he's like filing it and trying to get it all sorted because it was an absolute mess the other day. But yeah, as you walk in, he like looks up and he's like, "Ha, move! Oh, it's so good to see you. Shion, Dondi, Urban." Yes. Where's Artemis? Is he coming?
I suppose so. He'll be a bit late, I guess.
Oh,
Artemis will be here soon.
yes. Well, I'm so glad that you're all still alive. I cowered in
Yep.
the basement of this building for hours. Eventually, they told me I was free to go, but I decided to stay the night. I didn't want to risk it. But how are you all? I should probably shower. Council chambers, of course. That's what you've come for. Not a problem. I will take you to it. It's fine. Yes. Yes, sure. Oh, you brought Gorick with you. Hello, Gorick. You okay? Right. Okay, brilliant. Right, follow me. As Galoin just like looks at him like, what the fuck? Like as he walks past and you guys begin to walk and follow him, and he starts walking down the halls and leads you to that boardroom meeting like room before. And as you open the door, it is just the council in there and Henry, and it doesn't look like they left. They are wearing the same clothes they were in last night. They all look very tired. And seats are prepared for you, and as you come in, you are all seated. There is one empty chair, obviously because of Arcturus coming. And Estefan says, "If you need any waters or a pastry, let me know. I'll go and fetch it." Yes.
Here's some water.
Water for Dondi. Anybody else?
Yes, Dondi would love some water.
Nope.
I
Okay.
am good.
I'll get a jug with some glasses. We're alive. And he walks on out of the room, and you hear him like skipping down the corridor. And as you do, the doors shut as the guardsmen close the doors behind him. And Sir Drexel stands, and as he does, let me scroll to my notes. You see that all the council members are sat here looking very haggard, looking very tired. And Sir Drexel, as he stands up, he puts his hand out and then clenches his fist and puts it on his chest. And as he does, he like bows to you all as you sit down. And then as his hand comes down, he addresses you with an open palm as he like looks towards you all, and he says, "I am glad that you are all well and made it last night in one piece. I would like to firstly apologize for the way that we behaved upon your entry last night. As you can imagine, things are a little tense at the moment, and we may have come across a little brash, as did some of your companions." And he looks towards Andros and nods. "But first, let me thank you on behalf of not just ourselves, but the entire city of Arkenvale, for your valiant efforts in defending us from those scaled beasts. Thanks to you, we were able to apprehend a handful of their men, and as said last night, we begun interrogations. We as a city, no, we as a region will not stand for the crimes that have been committed and wish to fight back against this invasion. However, firstly, we must regroup, we must rebuild, and we must replenish.
Many brave and honorable warriors have died on this day, and many more are injured or wounded still. We do not merely ask you, we beg of you to aid us in our plight. We are in desperate need of allies, and this morning we held the council to discuss matters going forward. Henry Weston, as you know, was called upon to act as an emergency voice of Arkenvale, and we have been in talks all night.
And he grabs a glass of water and takes a sip, and as he puts it back down,
Due to the attacks, we have decided to once again try to unite Northern Veritas. We are looking to deliver the original treaties to each of the 4 regions, in the hopes of them honoring their agreement from long ago. Each of our regions have grown distant, and each of us will be facing our own trials and tribulations at this time. We beg of you, if you will, to go to each capital city and speak with their leaders on our behalf, to deliver these treaties and unite Northern Veritas once more. We understand that you are in need of your own personal things, and we will provide whatever help we can, whatever it may be. So, Iron Vortex, what say you? Would you help us in these times to unite the lands, to not only fight back against those that did us wrong, but to also prepare for any battles ahead in helping those in need?
and he looks towards you all.
Can we have a moment in private?
By all means.
Before we go any further, so what have you found out exactly? Because if we're gonna help, we need to know first.
We have found that this aerial you speak of, that information that you provided to us, was key in the interrogations. Once they knew that we had captured their leader, which we have not, they were all much more willing to cooperate. Due to the fact that you had told us that she was to attack the Canopy Ward, that she was in search of an item, and that she was named Ariel. They have all had much looser lips, thinking that their battle was lost. We thank you, and you will be rewarded, even if you wish not to help us with this next task. She comes from the south. She resides in a place once known as Kazakh, in the spires of Ash. Her and her people have rebuilt the fortress. They live amongst it, with their draken kind. The Drakens, the Drakes, the Drakenborn themselves, all live in harmony together. Riders are paired with a Drake soulmate. And from what I gather, the Drake that you killed was tied to Ariel herself. I would be very careful if you cross paths with this woman again. She will want blood.
I smile. And I look towards Maeve because she wanted a word in
Now,
private.
Go, take a room outside, if you will.
And I would say at this, as you guys step out, Estefan has just met up with Artemis, and he's like, "Oh, Artemis, brilliant! The others are in the council chambers. I believe it's just begun. You shouldn't have missed too much. Follow me, Artemis. I'll take you right there. We're alive again. Would you like any water? Dondi wanted water. I completely forgot. Shit. I'll get some. I'll bring it with us." And Estefan runs along with a jug, and it's just as you guys come out of the room, and Arcturus, you are met with the group, and he just presents a jug of water to you, Dondi. He just passes you it. Dondi!
Thank you. And I grab it and I just start drinking water.
Anybody else?
No.
Drinks, pastries, fruit,
Privacy.
Do you have a... Yeah.
privacy, yes!
Do you
I
have
know
a
just
room
the
where we
spot.
can speak?
Certainly, you can speak in any room, but I will find you a room.
He turns around and opens the door right next to him.
Here.
Thank you.
And as you walk in, you see this room seems to be like some sort of study room, maybe where they do some tests or other such things, like magical, maybe related stuff. But as you walk in, it's just a load of empty shelves and a few boxes in here. And yeah, as you go in, he says, there are stalls if you wish to use them. If you don't, I can fetch you cushions, anything.
It's fine.
It's all
fine.
good,
Can you
just...
No worries, Dondi or Urban. Mauve, Cheyenne, Artemis, Goric. See you in a bit. Bye. He just shuts the door.
I don't want to help them.
I say we one up the man.
How?
I say I agree with Andros. I don't want to be used as his lackey, going around from place to place to tell the story of his whatever. But what he told me was interesting. What he told us was interesting. He mentioned Kazark. I do not know much about Kazark, but I do know that it is in Quirin. We skip the whole going from town to town, and we take the needle out.
You're
In-
crazy. You're absolutely
You want to
insane.
take out Ariel?
Of course, it's
You-
easy. As soon as we get to Quirin, I have the might of the entire Chartusa nobility behind me.
Oh gosh, you really have
We
lost it.
can, we can,
But
we
you-
can
we-
literally siege the fortress.
You want to go to war with the?
Who
Why?
says it's war? They
This
are
is
wounded
fighting
now.
fire with fire, Shion.
They are
Leon.
wounded now.
Shion,
The
we're
whole
we're
tribe.
not going on some crazy dumb idea of going to go fight some fucking draconic people. This is nothing that has to do with us right now. None of this that these dragon people are doing. We're here for an orb. We got the freaking orb. Let's go do what we're meant to do
Yes,
with Maeve.
and
And
where
let's
does
go
it
get
lead-
this orb turned in so we can be done with this whole thing.
And where will that lead us, do you think?
You can
You
go. Hey,
think-
listen.
you
Once you
think
get
that-
home,
Listen to me! You think that if we go to Quirin and give the orb to Malakesh or whatever, you think that this will not be a problem there? You think they're just going to attack Arkenvale? If this is something real, this will affect everyone in the entire world. I do not want to see Chartusa fall to the same stupid lady who tried to attack Arkenvale.
you saw how it went with Arkenvale. I'm sure they're not going to be dumb enough to even try to attack another city when literally Arkenvale.
What
If
if
it-
they
it was
know
okay.
the orb was there?
How are they going to find out the orb is there, Shiona? We're there to turn
Because
it in.
I will be there!
Oh, so they just know you have the orb now? They know any of us have it? We're literally bringing. They didn't even know we had it in the city. What makes you think
Fine,
they'll
go
find it
back.
out?
Go back to Fortis. Go do whatever you want. I don't care, and I will be going home, with or without you.
We're going to turn in your orb, that's fine. But I'm saying is don't try to tell us we gotta go to your fucking home, which by the way has slaves. And I think if a Dalkin and a Loxon just waltzing into their fucking home, they're really just gonna let us come waltzing in.
Oh, of course. You will be
Oh,
under
right,
my.
'cause
You will
you're
be
the princess. My bad. I forgot everything
Exactly.
just revolves around you,
exactly.
Shion.
You will be under my protection for
I think you
now.
guys-
If
if
you
I
don't
were on the
shut up,
top
you
of the
will
orb-
not be.
You two have been hiding information about this orb, I feel like. And now that we're on the
Well,
topic, now we're in this room discussing. Why don't you guys tell us about this fucking orb for once? I feel like you guys have been walking around talking about this orb quite a bit.
I cast
Drag us
shackles
on
of
your
Virtus
freaking
on him.
mission, your journey to find this orb, and you haven't given us shit of information about it.
I cast
Sorry,
shackles of
guys.
Virtus on him.
Should we have this conversation at home because it's getting quite heated? Probably everyone in the council chambers heard everything you just said.
Does it matter? Who cares if they find out? We're leaving anyway. It's safer for them if we leave. I'm tired of just like us doing all these different missions. He's going to city to city, doing this shit. For what? What have we've been doing it for this orb the whole time. We now have what we've came here and been doing all this stuff for. Literally, we've almost died. I almost got killed by some Loxodon guy in this fucking city just to fucking help us clear out one issue. You guys almost got killed in the fucking mines against whatever the fuck you guys were dealing with down there. We got caught doing the simple thing of trying to remove Taft. Everything we've done at this point has brought us nothing but trouble, and we've been divided the whole time. Now I'm saying we got what we want. Let's go finish this whole fucking thing after we do Maeve's thing, of course, and then let's just fucking end it. And then after that, after we get done with everything we need to do, if we are feeling compelled to help out and beat these draconic people, cool. This isn't my home. Everything I've done has been on my own free will. And I'm sure it's the same with Maeve, and I'm sure it's the same with Erhard. You two are the only two people who's been needing this orb the whole time. And we've been nothing but helpful. We've been sitting here throwing our lives on the line every single city we go into to help you two achieve it. And you two haven't even told us the whole truth. You two have been hiding shit this whole
I
time.
still cast my shackles.
I can
Just
almost
shut
sit
him up.
here.
You're muted.
You're muted.
You want to cast Shackles of Sartusa?
Without the fiery bits. Just the
You
chain.
you can't determine that, I'm afraid.
Fuck.
If
Well
you
then
cast
use
spell,
the
you
fire
cast it.
use the fiery bits.
Does anyone want to do anything as a reaction?
Yeah, I would jump at Shion, but grab her, sort of thing. Not like I'm not trying to hurt her, but I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because obviously it takes a second to do it. But yeah, no one
Yeah.
else.
Like,
I'll
what are you
flick
doing?
my fingers. I cast counter spell.
You counter spell. Okay, so as the shackles begin to form, and like snakes, they come behind Shion, and then they go like towards Andros. Arcturus, you click your fingers just as the chains go in front of you, and as they do, they just vanish.
Your true colors really show now, don't you? You only care about yourself.
Andros.
You've only been here for yourself. You haven't given a shit about any of us.
Andros,
I am haunted
Shut
by
up.
fucking voices constantly. This fucking scared by way. I want you to know, I had a voice come to my head last
You
night,
know,
and it was that the
telling me was
fucking
not
woman.
the right thing to do, Arcturus.
I'm fucking haunted here my whole fucking life now, trying to help you, and you don't give any sympathy. You don't care. None of you. You don't care about any of us. We're sitting here throwing our lives out there for you.
Well, I never told you to. I literally never told you to. If you are dumb enough to follow us on this quest, then that's on to you, darling.
I walk up to Andros. I look him in the eye. Do you want any more casualties after this attack on the city? This attack can happen everywhere. There's no one to stop Ariel. More people will be hurt. More people will die. And you, as a warden of Arkenville, will sit by idly? Other people, great people, gave their life to protect this city, no matter what. I'll give him the necklace.
Recognize it?
Roll me an intelligence check. You did spend some time with her, so yeah, I'll let you make the roll. 15, yeah, that's enough. Yeah, it doesn't immediately come to mind. But when you look at it, and then you're like, a wolf necklace, like, who would have a... And then it's like, that's when it like kicks in. You're like, oh. And yeah, you have that recollection of her wearing that necklace when you two were on the rooftop and she was holding you, and you remember it dangling down from her neck while she was pinning you to the building's rooftop while the Tri-Spire mages were flying overhead.
Kingston wanted me to give you this, so you would know. Are you really gonna let this happen again?
Listen, I've done it before. I've
Are you
done nothing but
suggest-
run.
Are you suggesting to fight a war that's not ours? That the 5 of us in Goloin, the 6 of us together, go and fight Ariel?
Nobody said it would be the 6 of us. If the city can
who-
get allies, we can get allies.
The allies, yes. Who are our allies that are bigger and better than the nations combined?
You guys listened any of Shion's words.
All I hear from her nowadays is her caring about herself.
And also, as much as
Her.
I want to believe what Shion says, there is no guarantee. By the time we get down there, a lot of time has passed. And right now, Arkham Vale needs help. And Arkham Vale wants to warn the rest of this continent. And we have a part to play in it, potentially. Which also means probably allies in the long run. Because they will be grateful for not... well, rather for being informed about what's going to come.
Fine then, you go do Drexel's little quest.
I didn't say
Okay.
that necessarily.
I listened to Shion's words. I kinda have to agree with Andros. Not completely, but a little bit. I don't understand why we would involve another nation that has nothing to do with this right now. Get Quirin involved in a war that is not theirs to fight. Because Shion is the princess there. That doesn't make sense. Shion, I adore you. You're my friend. But this doesn't make sense. And I'm disappointed. Because Andros is right. When have you ever stopped to actually care about us?
Stop.
Why are you casting? Why are you casting your new bling bling spells on who's
Because
supposed to be
he
your
needed
friend?
to shut up.
And that's how you deal with it?
Well,
Is that how you deal with your slaves?
Do you know any other way to shut him up? Because
You can-
we tried everything the last month.
Yeah, but this is not the way, Shion. That's not how you treat your friends. That's how you treat your slaves,
is
maybe,
how-
but we're not
We're
that.
not friends to her.
This
See? She doesn't
is
think of
how
us as
I
friends.
treat people.
And then
We're just her
you...
pawns. We're her slaves. You guys still haven't even told us the whole truth yet. Why is going to Quirin so
Oh,
important now?
and you think that after your little thing, I'm going to
That's
tell
the
you
issue.
now?
That's the issue. You string us along. We sat here and willingly helped
I
you. We willingly
never-
helped you, Shion.
I
I
never
don't know if you
strung
understand
along.
that.
You
But we're not your
always
slaves.
You always joined voluntarily. You were free to leave at
Because we
any.
give a fuck about you. But it hasn't been a two-way street this whole time, has it? We've given a fuck about you. I willingly stayed back to go fight some dude for you and Arturus. Did I have to do it? No. I can be like, you know what? Fuck that mission. We can pay the 500 gold. Gold is shit to me. I will just stay with the party and continue to go on. But I stayed back by myself, perhaps, to help you and him on this quest. The least I'm asking is for some honesty here. We come clean about
And
all
this-
of our shit. I've told you everything about me. There's not a thing you do not know about me anymore.
This is coming from the man who constantly asks for private words with people. Shut up about
You
shut
want to know
up about
what?
your
You want to know what I'm
honesty.
asking Elias for? Because of the scarab. I've told you what that thing just did to me last night. I now have this. I don't even know. T'Challa hasn't spoke to me all day. I don't even know where she is. I don't even know what happened to her. I now have some creepy woman that's from Fortis in my head, named Akatha, the girl, the Scarlet Sand lady. She's in my head. I don't even know her. But now she's offering me some power that I don't know nothing about. And I'm scared. I am terrified. And I look to you guys for any sort of resemblance of like friendship here. But I can't even trust you now because you guys don't even want to be honest with me. Or honest with us at the very least. What's making us? What's driving us to sit here and try to
Andros,
help
if you keep
or try to
talking,
listen?
you can't let any people speak. If you are scared of the scarab, take the bloody thing off and throw it away. Now. If you don't do it, means you like it. You like the power. You like the attention. And you want to know what it does.
I'll attempt to take it off.
Yeah,
See
you
if
take it
it
off.
comes off. Does it come off?
Take it off.
It does?
Yeah.
I'll show it to him that I've taken it off. And I'll just put it in my pocket for the time being.
Now you're taking action. It is nothing.
Well, someone has to.
It is nothing that we did not tell you stuff because we didn't know the stuff. We are now happy we found the orb. If you want the truth is the road will point south if you want to end this quest. Guess where that's where that is taking us.
Yeah, but I don't want to be dragged into this war.
Fine, then
And
we
that's what you guys.
fine, then we decline. And we decline everything. We go
No.
our own path.
We don't want
Darling,
queering involved. That is our thing.
We can just lie. Has it ever occurred to you?
Oh,
We can
yeah,
just
that's
lie?
the thing
That
that you
works.
do, right? That's the
let's-
thing that you do.
Let's
I
go
thought I was
there.
your friend. I thought, you know what? I get that you don't want to talk to Andros. I get it. You two didn't see eye to eye. But Shion, I looked up to you. I really
know.
did. I really
know.
did.
And I know that. But as long I'm not going to tell everything in a group of people with everyone here.
And how often have we sat together? We've sat on watch together. We've stayed in the stable together. I've talked to you about things. I've probably told you more than Andros at this point. You know that.
I do. And I'm very thankful for that. But
Well, I can't say the same.
this
It's not mutual anymore.
this goes beyond beyond our group, beyond friendship, whatever. To me, it is a matter of life and death, and I don't care who I will drag along anymore.
Help us understand. We're supposed to be a group. We have a name. We have a title. We mean something to people here. The least you can do is let us be involved with this. If you
Let
ask me,
me be very clear, okay? In words that I'll use small words so you can understand.
oh, here we go.
We don't go to Quirin, we die.
We're not saying not to go to Quirin, Shion. What I'm saying is don't drag Quirin into a war where we can't rely on Quirin right now. No offense to you, but I don't rely on people, right? That's one thing I think I've learned through my time, living by myself. I can only trust a few people in life, right? Quirin doesn't sound like one of them. No offense. Maybe you can trust him because you were born and raised there and you're a so-called princess. But I don't, because what's to say as soon as we get there, they just don't take me and Arcturus away to be some slave. My people are there, possibly being slaves right now for your people. That's the
Again,
only
with
reason I'm
this-
agreeing to go with you to Quirin in the first place.
What do? Hide in a little corner. Could help them. I roll up my sleeve. I'll show them the tattoo.
And it's funny that you say that, because as you roll up the sleeve, you will notice there isn't a single chain on the tattoo.
I grab his arm. You and I need to have a little word.
Here we go.
In private?
In
Oh.
private, yeah, they're not gonna invite us
In
to
private.
this conversation.
It seems
Mhm.
like everyone
We're
wants
not
to talk
important
with
enough.
each other. Well, we're like on the road for how long? And now we're gonna talk to each other?
Oh, I think now is the best time to talk about.
I thought
Fucking
we were
secrets.
talking to each other. That's the problem.
We've been talking the whole time.
Oh, what's your problem, Shion?
I know why your tattoo lost its chains.
Enlighten me.
Give me the orb.
Honest?
Yes.
Here. Take it. Give the orb to Shion.
I try to grab it. Take it from him.
Shion, can I have a dex with advantage? Andros, can I have a flat dex, please?
Mm-hmm.
As you go to grab it, Shion snatches it before you can get there, and yeah, you like miss the swipe for it.
I give him a death glare, and I put it in my pocket, and I guard my pocket with my frickin' life.
Happy
Wanna
now?
tell us a secret?
We'll see. Tomorrow.
So it seems there's someone trying to wig between in Shion.
Just us, huh?
Apparently, you guys are involved now.
Involved.
Remember tattoos? Notice any difference between mine?
Well, yours clearly has retracted.
I don't know the full story of it, but one that delivers the orb, Malakash, will be rewarded. The other one will suffer.
At
Makes
least that's
zero
the
sense.
promise, I would say.
And you still want to deliver it? Both of you?
If the alternative is death, yes.
So are we gonna guide you to one of you's deathbed?
That depends entirely
On you.
on you guys.
We're not letting you
We-
turn it in.
No, it depends on you guys, not on us guys. You're the ones
Because only
delivering
one
it.
of you
We're
We're
going
just
anyway.
along the ride,
By the
being lied
sound
to,
of it.
by the way.
We're going
Exactly.
anyway, so you make up your mind.
How about you
You
let
think
one
you-
of us carry the orb throughout the day,
Yeah, and
and
then
we
we
let you
both
guys
die.
sleep with it? Well, no, until we get closer to the place. That way, you guys don't going off trying to hurt each other over some orb. Obviously, if there's a divide, we stop the divide. Let one of us, Maeve, because I bet you both trust her the most. We let Maeve carry the orb throughout the day. At night, you guys take turns whoever sleeps with it. In the day, you hand it back to one of us. That way, no one gets any favoritism, and that way, we don't have issues with this orb dividing you two, and then becomes our whole issue, right? Because I hate to admit this, but you two are obviously the two with the most experience in this group. Probably the parents, hate to say that, but it seems like you two are more of the parents here. So, if you two start going at each other's necks, it's just gonna triple down to everybody, right? As much as I hate to say it, that's just the position we're in right now. So, until it's nighttime, Shion, if you have any sort of ounce of any sort of care here for your buddy here, Arcturus, let Maeve hold on to the orb throughout the day. We'll give it to you at night. You can sleep with it then. But until then, we need to be safe about this so you guys don't go off killing each other. Until we figure out more about this orb and we can find out a way to save both of you. Because I'm not turning in this orb if that means one of you is going to get the shit into the stick. I wouldn't want you guys doing that to me. I'm not going to do it to either of you.
I look at Arcturus. I'm just thinking. Like. It sort of half makes sense, but at the same time, she's really not willing to give this up right now, but. I give it to Maeve.
I reluctantly take it.
I will want it back. Tonight, before nightfall.
Yes, Shion. I wouldn't want to sleep with it anyway.
Now, can we just have a... I know, I should be telling myself this. Let's just have a peaceful discussion about what we're doing, okay? It's obviously there's a lot of confusion here. We're all at different ends of what we should be doing, right? Obviously, Shion wants to go to Quirin to get to deal with these Draconic people. I'm almost in the same boat of dealing with the Draconic people. I'm not against it. Let's just not stop dragging other people who have nothing to do with this into our position, right? We are the Wardens of Arkenvale, not the Wardens of Quirin. None of us have anything to do with Quirin except for you, Shion, right? If we get to Quirin and they are really down, and let's say they do something to Quirin, then yes, let's have them help us in any sort of fashion. But until then, until we get any information on this, let's keep them out of it for the time being, right? This is just between Northern Veritas, right? We know that. So let's get this going, right? We don't have to take their offer and tell any other cities. They can do that. We have a lot of things on our plate as it is. We still have to go to Maeve's home. We still got to find things out about this. We still have to find out about this Malakesh thing, about this orb thing, right? That's the biggest word right now, because that's you two on the line there, right? If we can find these things out, we can handle it one by one, right? There's a lot of things we gotta figure out.
Ariel's after the orb. Malakesh wants the orb. Let them fight it out.
I don't think we should give it to either of them.
Well,
hear the
I
rumors?
don't see a road where neither Shion or Arcturus isn't gonna give the orb to
Listen,
Malakesh.
we've heard the rumors of what this orb can do, right? A dragon. That's what the dragon people want with it. They want to awaken some powerful dragon, because again, they're draconic people, where the hell. And then Malakesh wants to extend the godhood with it, because he seems to have a god complex. So we know those two things, right? We know there's two theories. What if both theories are true, but different for whoever uses the orb, right? For different purposes. We know it's a powerful item. We know there's two different things going on. If we go off those two theories, the only thing is we don't give Malakesh the orb. Instead, we use it. We don't use it, but we use it as a bait, and we take care of them. That way, you both go off. Capiche? We deal with that. With the dragon thing, we don't let them get the orb to awaken the dragon. We deal with them before that. As long as they do not have the orb, I don't think they're getting any stronger than where they're at right now, and that's at least something that we can be sure of. Is that they're at a stalemate.
Instead of being scared walking into Quirin, your plan is actually to set up the Queen of Ashes against Malakesh the demigod.
Well, if you
How
think
would
about
that
it,
not destroy half of the world?
we're not doing that. I don't agree with that. And I'm saying that we deal with one at a time, right? If we know the draconic, as long as someone is after the orb, right, we're not safe with it, right? But we know those two people. There's two different theories out, and I think both could potentially be true. We don't know, right? We don't know anything about the orb, right? So until we find answers, let's try to do what the things we can now, and that is helping them come together as Northern Veritas, prepare for a war, whatever they want to do, so they can deal with the Ariel person. That at least relieves pressure off of us, and then all we have to deal with is Malakesh, right? If we knock out, we can deal with two birds, one stone.
And what would they would have no cause to attack Arkenvale ever again, because they now know that it is not here. So what will they do?
For
Well,
now,
they're gonna be
what-
looking for it
a group.
Yeah,
Looking for
everywhere.
a group. I don't know if there's a target on us. There's a group, the Iron Vortex, they talk about us. It'll
Which
only
is
be a
why I
matter of
think
time.
it's safe that we jump city to city. If we can jump city to city, they're not going to be able to track us, right? We have safety within the walls. We know cities can hold their ground. If we stay within cities, we at least protect the orb. That to me is the most important thing right now. The orb could be very powerful. We don't want to give that to them. Nobody. The orb should stay with us.
Did you seriously just say that nobody would be able to track us down? Literally, every village
No.
we go to, we help some kind of urchin, and everyone hears about the Iron Vortex.
That's not what I'm saying, Gian.
That's as big a target on your ass as anything.
Andros does have a point though, right? If we're always on the move and not staying in
moving.
one place,
Yeah,
Then-
thank you.
aren't we a harder target to find?
Exactly. We blend, right? We don't
If-
blend. We have a Vidalcan and a Loxodon. But
If we
if we stay
stop
within the
help,
cities,
if we
you
stop
see how
helping urchins along the way,
you saw how Arkenvale was able to defend itself, like defend the city, right? Even though if we help, if we keep, even if they attack a city, we at least can protect the city. We know that. We've done it, right? We have to keep the orb. We can't let them have the orb. That's in my opinion the most serious thing right now. People don't have to know about the orb, right? And know we're in possession of it. But let's not let them get it either. We keep it. We keep it protected. We jump city to city. Let's deal with Maeve's things, right? And then we go to Queer and we deal with Malakesh. After we united all of Northern Veritas, they will deal with Ariel. We don't have to worry about Ariel then. That's one thing off the board. All we have to deal
Well,
with then is Malakesh.
At least we won't stand together.
Exactly.
Alone, I mean. Yeah.
And Shion, if we somehow can get Quirin to help, that's even better then, right? Then we have more help. What I'm saying is for now, let's not just throw all our pennies on the table, go straight to Quirin, then we're in their area. We're where those Draconic people probably want us to be right now.
Quirin
And
is
we're
big.
near where Malakesh is, which is two problems.
We could potentially even make it so that the council helps us get to Quirin. Get it
Well, I
away
already
there
arranged
sorted.
for a boat.
Yeah, which is going to take 3 weeks.
Just.
We might be able to get to the nations before then, with the help
Exactly.
of Arkenvale.
Do we
of
even know
course.
who all the nations are?
There's three.
Well, they
three more?
said the 4 capitals, I
Yeah,
presume.
go
Which
one.
are that hard?
I don't know much outside of
I don't know,
Atlantis, to be
but-
honest.
I was gonna, if Eliash can travel, get us going.
Oh, what, like that
True.
teleport thing she did before?
Yeah.
If that... Yeah. Well, if that put us as far away from here, they wouldn't know where to start looking for us, right?
Oh, exactly, and maybe they have other ways of helping us transport around.
Well,
More
one thing we
efficiently.
definitely will need is more information. Not just about where we're going, but what is what's going on essentially.
Well-
Like we've heard now there's potentially more than just this one orb. So maybe finding out more about others gives us better understanding of what this does.
Wait, there's more than one?
Well, Kingston mentioned
Yeah.
something about something similar being in the Temple of the Ancients.
Don't even know what that is, do we?
Great.
Well,
If you
it's-
look on
it's-
your map...
Well, I did read about it when I was,
If you go to your... if you go to
it's in
your
the Cloudtop Peaks.
journal page,
Yeah.
and then you go down to the bottom of the handouts,
We
you
do
can
have the
see the
map
map
as well.
handouts, and you do have the parchment map
Mm.
of Atlantis, which you
See
can have a
it.
look at.
So it's to the east.
I mean, we could make a trip up there, right? I mean, if they,
Well, not just a trip, like, we have a library here, one of the largest ones probably, and best sorted. If we spend a little time finding out more, and there's not just us that could look for the information, we have the resources of the Trispire, essentially.
wait. So, Malakesh is in near Queer and wanting the orb, right? It's
Do we know that?
I
Do we know he
mean,
is?
obviously they have to
there?
bring him the orb, right? So, Shion, you're from Quirin. Is there anywhere in Quirin that can have this information? There has to be some temple down there that might have information about it.
You could. I do not think that the Tower of the Scorpion would have it, but the Mage Academy might.
See, we have a lot of different areas we can check. We're not entirely. We need to get information on it at the very least. Arcturus, you're the brains here. Is this Temple of Ancients worth checking out, or do you think we have a lot already we have to do?
I'm a Vidalcan. Not coming from this plane. You
Right.
ask me of the Temple of the Ancients.
I don't know
It's
that either.
looking worth into. As a matter of
Okay.
fact, I don't really care about all this anymore. Done with it.
But you only have, like, let me, like, the issue I see with all of this, as much as we, have been discussing now that we are in this to help you guys because we saw you guys are in need of help, and that's why we helped, and we're still willing to help. If being honest with us at least.
Sure.
And we now know you have one orb, and clearly it has an effect on whoever holds it with your Malakash. But you only have one. At some point, one of
Unless we
you,
don't have one.
Do you know a magic duplication spell there, Erhard, that would solve all our problems?
What
no,
if we
but
let them think
understanding
that we give them one?
it would help. Knowledge is power, so to speak.
Oh, this is confusing. And
It's not confusing at all. We have two choices. Gonna take out Ariel. Gonna play fetch council. I said before. Really care anymore, so pick your pick.
great. I
I
know
don't
what to do.
think. I don't think playing fetch is what we're doing when we take on that quest. What we're doing is spreading out and figuring out what the fuck to do. Because going right into Ariel now, by the time we get there, they'd be prepared. And I'm afraid for our losses and that of the people we get involved.
So you vote council.
I think we have no choice.
I
getting more
think
information
with
through the council and
I
all
think
that.
with hearing them out and see what they can help us with, make the travel as efficient as possible. Use
Get
the
us
time
started
that
on
we
the
have
road.
to wait on a boat. We have to wait anyway. We can't just get to Quirin tomorrow. Right?
That is true.
Well, didn't you mention Novice having like a ship?
Well,
No, but Novus is about as far as Quirin.
Right. But what if
Okay.
you helped the council and in return they got you to Novice?
Wait a minute. That's a good point, Gawon. What if
Or
we
got a
help
ship
the
here.
council out?
Or got
but
a
while
boat? Or done something
yeah.
for that? They said they'd help you do whatever you need, right?
Yeah.
So
By
what
the
do
time
you
we get to
need?
Novus, they can have a boat ready for us to take to Quirin.
They might have something faster.
And you
Yeah.
wanted to go to Ellenaston Forests, right, Maeve?
Well,
Well,
I do, but
surely is that not where one of the
Should be on
capitals
the
will be
way
anyway?
somewhere.
So wouldn't we be going there anyway? And
well, maybe, but I mean, finding out
We have
Arma's
to start
family
somewhere.
compared to a war is, I don't know if.
yeah, no, I don't get the impression they're going to war. I just think they're making sure they have allies in case it comes to it.
They want to be prepared and not have other people be in this position that they are in today, where they are attacked out of the blue.
Look, I just drive the wagon. Like, you guys are the fighters and the thinkers and the doers, and I brush the horses and make sure you get to the places you need to be at. So, look, take what I say with a pinch of salt. But, I am a warden, so, my voice is heard. And he
is.
smiles.
You've been the only one calm this whole conversation, it feels like.
What's gonna go?
Okay, I think unless you guys think we're gonna go to Quirin somehow tomorrow, we go.
That was
and do
never
the
an
quest.
option.
Yeah, I
No,
think
so what would we do with the time anyway, right?
I think even Eliash doesn't want to go there, even if she could teleport us there, right?
No. So now is your time to speak. If you disagree with this, we go in that council, we tell them what we need, and that's the deal. And we will do what they need doing in return for what we need help with.
Yeah. And as when we do that, if we do it, I think it might help if they maybe they can find the lady that I talked to in Sardonis, the Hava Scorchstone. She did mention, airships and all that from Novus.
Yeah. Are they safe?
Well, but I'm sure they're quicker than going by sea.
Are they even still alive? That person you talked to.
Well, that's what they would know. They, in charge of Sedonis. So they said they would help with whatever we need.
And I think at that, as the conversation comes to a calm and you all start to speak to one another a little bit softer, you hear someone pacing back and forth outside, waiting to. They didn't want to interrupt, but they couldn't hear, but they could hear something going on. And I think as you all realize that 40 or so minutes has passed during this conversation, we are going to end the session there, as you all gather your thoughts before you go and speak with the council. And firstly, I would like to say, you guys killed it. Wow, that RP was intense, but it was so good. I was here like, yes! It was so good. Cool. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Right, let's, sorry for the late stream. I just really didn't want to interrupt, because I knew if we picked this up again next week, you're not going to have the same emotions and, stuff flowing through you for the conversation. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't interrupt. But yes, the tennis match has ended. Let's go around the room and introduce ourselves. Tell the good people where they can find you when you're not here. Tim, take it away.
Guys, if you don't know me, I am Tim. I am the male part of Team Logic NL. And we play variety games on Twitch. Twitch.tv/TeamLogicNL, where we do Pokemon, we do RimWorld, we do Horizon Forbidden West. And we even do Team Logic After Dark, where we just did a Pokemon race, which was very fun. So make sure to join us there.
Awesome. And below the Tech Wizard, we have Eagle. Take it away.
Hello, you can find me over the Eagle Outlaw. Currently not really streaming too much right now. Focused on a lot of different personal stuff. But I should be back soon. I think maybe Monday, Tuesday-ish. I should be back. But yeah, I hope you guys come back. I play Pokemon. We've been doing some Kingdom Hearts and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I might start doing some late night streams as well, because it's easier for me when I'm off to do late nights. I might do some later stuff. But yeah, hope to see you guys there.
Awesome. And below Eagle, we have somebody.
Yeah, sorry, I'm like looking up other things at the meantime as well, raids and stuff. But yes, you can find me over on Smitty Jane on Twitch. I am playing some Resident Evil 2 at the moment, as well as going through Twilight Princess for Zelda. And yeah, I'm really enjoying that. And otherwise, you can find me here on Fridays playing a half-elf druid barbarian with socks. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And the other side of the screen, we have Zeb. Zeb, take it away.
Yeah, I'm Agent Zeb, and believe it or not, I actually stream. I streamed the whole week, and yeah, I will do so in the future as well. So yeah, if you want to see some strategy games, some RPG games, maybe again someday, all kinds of things where you think too much. And yeah, going medieval. Gonna go into Banners of Ruins next week, probably a bit. And dabbling back into Crusader Kings, probably because I'm addicted anyway. So yeah, if you love seeing that, come check it out.
Awesome. And above Zeb, we have Lan. Lan, take it away.
Hello, my name is Lan. I am the female half of Team Logic, streaming every Wednesday. And yeah, last week, like 2 days ago, we indeed did a Pokemon challenge, which we'd love to do again soon. But next week, I will be back with something new, something interesting. So if you're curious to see what it is, come check it out. Really enjoyed this session. Drama!
Awesome. And yeah, follow those socials. I don't know what the exclamation mark thingy is, but I'm sure Tim will put it in chat now. But yeah, I'm the onion soup. No, just the onion soup, not soup. I'm the onion soup. I do Pokemon stuff. We're currently playing through Omega Ruby again, because woo! We're probably not going to beat it this run, but we're going to try our damnedest. I also play on Wednesdays a variety game, which currently is Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, which I played when I was like 12 and I haven't played since, and I don't think I finished it, and I love it. It's so much fun. It's so good. It's adorable. It's insane. I love it. So yeah, I'm doing that over on the Onion Soup as well, so do check us out there. Social those follows. Follow us on the Twitters, the Instagrams, the YouTubes, which sponsor the episode. So please do, if you're watching and you'd really like to help our sponsors out, because our sponsors help us out, go and subscribe on the YouTubes, guys. I also noticed our first video is now on like 50-something views, which is kind of cool, right? That's kind of cool. I know it's a slow burner, but I like it. I'm happy. Also, yeah, I look at weird stats like that because I'm like, ooh. But there's other things on there. Yeah, go check it out. All the one-shots, all the things. If you're new here, check us out. We're going to raid into...
Dang.
Hello. Sorry. We're going to...
It was your suggestion,
going-
so you can
Yeah.
announce it.
We're going to raid into someone who's called the Playmat. Funnily enough, D&D and math is a thing. I don't know.
I know.
You know, it's a trend.
Matt Mercer,
They
Matt
are
the Onion.
doing. Yeah, I think I don't know if it's the DM of the group, but it's just a guy on his own. He's talking some roleplay physiology. I can't
Philosophy.
English word.
Philosophy?
That's one. That one. And I thought it'd be nice to go raid into someone who's actually able to react to the raid, and it's D&D related, right? So.
Awesome. Yeah, let's raid on in. We are, as far as I'm aware, everyone should be here next week. Hopefully, fingers crossed. We'll see. But yes, we'll be back next Friday. I know, another week on the trot. It's unlike us because, you know, we took so much time off, but we're here. We're gonna play some Defenders. So yeah, we're gonna play. And yeah, I'm excited to play. Let's see what the party decide to do, and whether it'll be heated or maybe simmered down a little bit after the group's dynamics shift slightly. But yeah, it's cool. Right, guys, much love. Thank you so much. Discords, YouTubes, all that good stuff. Thank you for being here. We're going to raid out. Please copy the raid message, post it in the chat. We're going to go say hello to some peoples. Awesome. Right, bye! Bye, bye, bye.
Remember